As always, let's double check the stream is working.
I'm going to Twitch.
Welcome to you.
Welcome to me. Welcome to us.
Welcome to all of us, everyone.
Hello.
Merry
Well, it says we're live.
Everyone. Okay, so
We
in
are.
that case,
Merry fucking Christmas to you.
When can we get a different Roll20 background?
I change it.
It's been to and fro from
It's
seedy underworld
been to
to
and
like
fro.
nice daytime.
Should we go to
College.
this one because it's just a little bit different again?
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
We'll go to this one.
Oh, sure.
This is more like the Andriont area. Although the one in the top left, that's more akin to the merchant district.
That's just a really old picture of Church Road. That's that pub on Church Road called the Freemasons.
Oh yeah. There's some sinister stuff.
And the
going on
pavilions
there,
in the
I'm sure.
background.
It's just
Yeah.
Brighton. It's just a picture of Brighton.
Oh, that's the dome.
It's just,
Yeah.
It was the olden days, so it was all a lot closer together. So that's
Yeah.
why you can...
Everything was smaller back then. People
Yeah,
have
the
grown
earth
since
grows.
and things have
Everything,
to
like-
move.
Yeah.
Boil up a pot.
Isn't
Take a seat by the hearth
I hear the music.
and enjoy a fine brew. With the gentleman questions.
Cheese was as bad as this last like 6 episodes we've had.
Today we have the first of our special catch-ups, written by Rupert for Theo to read as Dylan.
oh,
Um,
did I get sent this?
you did get sent this ahead of
I
time.
just- I haven't read it. I
That's
didn't know
good,
I was
it's
doing
fresh.
it.
That's the best way.
I skimmed it and it looks insane, and
it's a
everyone
bit
needs to be
long.
on their toes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking long.
It looks long because it squishes it more.
No, Rupert writes really long catch-ups.
Okay.
So take
What
it.
kind of music should I put on then, Rup? You're the one who wrote this.
Kind of seedy, like not tavern, but seedy kind of eerie streets, like
Eerie.
You got any slave ship
gang
music?
No,
culture.
stop with the.
No.
with that.
What the fuck, Josh?
No, no, Josh.
Stop. He said he's had too much caffeine today and he can't keep still.
I can tell because he's rubbing his face like this.
This is gonna be a
Got
real
that
session.
thing where
I can
your
tell
cheeks-
I
already.
don't know what I'm gonna say, and I'm scared.
What about this? Is this
Yeah, this is nice.
okay? Take it away, Dylan.
What accent am I doing in this?
Your brother drowns,
okay.
but
yeah,
look
yeah.
out for bits that maybe you are not reading too.
I saw that and I just skimmed it just
No,
then.
okay.
The heavy footsteps of the city guard. 2 of them, 30 feet, no, 40 feet. Straight down the street on the western side, and there's a third to my right. Sounds like clubs or batons in their hands, but the one alone has a spear. Chainmail. Loose on 2 of them, but less so on the last one. He's the strongest. Probably slower, though. Deal with the other 2 first if things go hellways. Smells like a butcher's opposite. They got beef and goat and fish. No customers, though. Far too little footfall at this time of night. He'll be closing up soon. No. She? That's emerald essence she's wearing. Strange for a butcher to perfume herself. Maybe she hates the stench of her produce. Can't say I blame her. That ain't the freshest meat. Dutch has been in there a while. Hope he's not starting ruckus or attracting the wrong kind of attention. Who am I kidding? That's just a vain hope. Just hope this is the right tavern and that the tip-off from the crows comes to fruition. The days are running short and we still don't know enough about these merchants. I ain't going into this job blind, so to speak. Ah, there we go. About time. Why you gotta drag his feet like that, making so much noise all the night long? Dutch, you took your sweet time. I could smell the whiskey in me from half a league. Pricey way to find information, ain't it? Find anything worth that coin might be useful?
Q Dutch. Q Dutch.
I haven't been sent anything.
I know. It's
No, I know.
improv.
It's improv.
Oh, fuck you!
I said you got to be on your toes.
I was reading my fucking character.
Repeat the line. Repeat the line, Theo.
Dutch, you took your sweet time. I could smell the whiskey on you from half a league. Pricey way to find information, ain't it? Find anything worth that coin that might be useful? What is that sentence, Rupert?
Poor grammar.
Find anything worth that coin that might be useful.
No. But
Get it. I'm hungry. I don't like the feeling on these streets. Too quiet. Too deserted. Can't easily disappear without a crowd. Let's get out of here. We slink off into the night, padding our familiar way through the wards, crossing canals where the brackish stench of sewage and seawater melds together in a pungent sea of scents. Bargemen discuss the rising price of wood, oils, and grumble about the sluice taxes. Some tell of the day they met their bride-to-be, laughing with nostalgic affection for memories long past. Hearing them reminisce, a strange, sickening feel tosses my stomach, upward as though I'd been flung off a 5-foot-story balcony. What it must be like to have the hazy recollection of one's life displayed right in front of them like a banquet. To walk around this city to see the day you played knucklebones by that well. The time your ma and pa brought you sweet spiced chicken from the vendor in the square. Even to remember the smile of your brother as you chased him through the markets. I turned to Dutch, hearing his soft rasping breath and the sweet lingering odor of the spirit that clings to his tongue. The cracks of his fingers as he scours the town for the right opportunity in the wrong crowd. I wish I could see it all. Every day from when we met, every back, every alley scrap, every coin borrowed from a passing stranger. The camaraderie of the sewer dwellers passing the nights and drinking and gambling. Losing my past and my sight. Goddamn, that's cruel. Joke that. Goddamn, that's a cruel joke, that is.
Do not begrudge my gift. Consume my love until your heart and soul are full to abundance.
Wow. What was that? Whose voice is that? I don't hear or feel anyone around. No footsteps, no smell, but that voice. Could have been inches from my ears. Is she laughing? Same thing again and again.
Do not begrudge my gift. Consume my love until your heart and soul are full to abundance. Very good. Very good.
Very well read, guys.
Well read.
Thank
and
you.
Well written.
Good job. Good job,
very
Ruby.
sick.
In this case,
Excellent
it will
work.
be a double inspiration. If you both don't have one already, you can both have one.
Excellent.
That was awesome, Ruth. That was great.
Sorry, I didn't read through it sooner. I actually just didn't realise that I was supposed to be doing it, but it was quite nice off the fly.
Yeah, it's cool. There's nice being
Well done.
surprised.
Yeah, I didn't read. I saw when it said that I needed to read something, and I was like, I'm not going to read it. I don't want to know. That was really cool. So descriptive, Rupert. So good. I love the spiced chicken and the things where you describe food. Like you said, was it lamb,
yeah.
lamb and fish and
Goat.
Yeah, it's like
Goat,
the
yeah,
sentence.
lamb and goat and
Goat.
fish. That's such a like interesting combination of foods to choose at like a sort of outdoor market, like a butcher's. Ah, it's so cool,
China,
man.
they always had
Quite a pungent smell.
barbecued chicken, like with spicy dustings in China in stalls. It's great.
So we pick up where we left off last session, with the Gypsies of Fortune about to head to potentially the final leg of this heist that has been building and brewing for quite a while. You previously managed to sneak your way into the estate itself, gain some pertinent information, and then began to head back to the Dock Rat's hideout. Richter and Ruthus and Gannon paid a visit to a tavern within the working guilds, where unfortunately information was not as forthcoming, and it ended with a stabbing in the alley and a very pleased Gannon. Stuffing the bodies into the bag of withholding and cleaning up the blood off the ground and off of Gannon himself, you also headed back to the Dock Rat's hideout. You congregated, knowing that you were to rest, and on the morrow to potentially begin your heist. And I think we left it with you guys essentially chatting and deciding what it was that you were going to do, which hopefully you have done between last session and now. So we'll say that you've had a long rest. So you can... I think we did the long rest at the end of last session, didn't we? You got back pretty late, so you had to sleep the 8 hours. So I'll say at this point it's late morning, heading into kind of midday.
Didn't we do a bunch of downtime like this day?
Oh, did you? What did you? Oh yeah, of course you did. What did you get up to? I've completely forgotten. We did some downtime.
I found loads of information about Balthazar, didn't I?
Oh yeah. Yes. Sorry,
Yeah,
you've already
Dutch
been
and-
around for the day. So you, Dutch and Victor went to the brothel,
and Rick fucked it by just asking a direct question.
yeah, annoyingly fucked it. And the others, I think it was,
Me and Dylan.
yes, Rufus and Dylan went to gather knowledge to find like the papers and the kind of like the tabloid sort of like ye olde newspapers, where you did discover some pertinent information about Lord Balthazar himself, and about his a sort of like hidden bit that couldn't be published as it was probably potentially too nasty to be published, and they let you in with promise of you as like a sort of not private detective, journalist,
Private journalist, yeah.
to potentially in the future give him some tidbits as well. And you found out that he enjoys pain and is a bit of a sadist or masochist, and also enjoys inflicting pain on others, especially the animals and beasts that he collects. And with that bit of knowledge, you all seemed a little bit more sure that you wouldn't mind stealing from this person, as you, before this, really had no reason to suspect this person was a baddie, other than just being very rich.
That's enough.
So then, yes, then you gathered back. So we'll say that it is in the sort of like afternoon, tea time. You've gathered back at the Dock Rat's hideout, and you are planning exactly how to proceed with the evening.
I think we did have a lengthy discussion in the players' chat. I just sort of laughed anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, we can skip over that if you know what you're doing. You don't have to RP it.
I think we have a rough. We did have a good idea, but maybe we could talk about it anyway because I'm not sure.
It might be good to go over to recap.
Like probably refinalize it.
So you've all been chatting, and then Zook says, "Right, let's go over it one more time."
To reiterate.
Uno más, por favor.
So, we're gaining entry into the estate, right? Step one. Stealthily or as an animal?
You're going to be turning us into pigeons. Is that correct, Zook?
I can do, yes. Hopefully we can cause a ruckus on our way out to get out unscathed or unseen.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't need to cause a ruckus.
The plan is finalized apart from getting out of the estate itself.
So to reiterate, I guess, we get in as pigeons, let's say. We break into Balthazar's rooms, taking Fandel to dismiss whatever's kind of magical seals on the window. We enter the room and we stay there and scout out the room whilst the party ensues. Now, Dylan and Richter then go downstairs to seduce Balthazar, or Richter will, as a very appealing mate, and then bring him either up to the room or to some other location.
My idea was Richter would wait somewhere secluded, and I would slip Balthazar a note informing him that what was the name of the brothel that they visited?
It was
Crimson. No, something Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
No, it was definitely the Crimson something. I have it written down somewhere. Carry on, but
okay. Yeah. So insert brothel name has left Balthazar a gift. Hence, I believe that we should do this latter part of the heist later into the evening. He's not going to want to leave his guests if it's early in the night.
Oh, that's true.
But that's no problem. We can.
I can't find it, but we'll call it the Crimson Courtiers.
And when we've done that, we slip him the potion that entices Balthazar towards Richter.
Aye. And good. So, would it not make sense to have him meet back in the rooms where we're all hiding? Because just in case anything goes wrong, we can all help to.
No, that it would raise suspicion for this unnamed individual, Richter's guys, to be in his room, would it not?
What about outside it? Wait for him to open the door.
That could
Maybe.
be.
Yeah, something like that.
For all we know,
Or anywhere.
Balthazar's room may be off limits to all, so if we were to suggest that someone was there waiting for him, he might become suspicious.
We need to get him the drink which will charm Balthazar.
Yeah, if he were to drink that while ascending the stairs and then Caesar, done.
True.
Could you be a waiter, perhaps, and wait at the bottom of the stairs?
Tell you what I could do. I could be invisible up until this point. I could wait until I find the guys of a particular waiting staff, and then I could take on their appearance and offer the drink with this in, so as not to arouse suspicion.
Exactly my plan.
What
Very
if the
good.
waiter walks out and there's two of the same person? Do we need to, bag him, tie him up, put him in a hole of dirt as we did that kobold?
I mean, there's bound to be a downstairs area, so to speak, so I could accost one of these servants and find a place to tie him up. Well, that shouldn't be too difficult.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, gypsies, I'm a little confused here. Let's go over this in chronological order, step by step, just so we're all on the same page.
Please, go ahead.
We enter the grounds as pigeons and land on the roof. Correct?
Aye.
Step 1. Then we break in through Balthazar's window, all of us entering the room, scoping it out, seeing what's there. Dylan and Richter head downstairs to lure Balthazar back upstairs while we wait in the room.
I think only those that should be waiting in the room should actually enter the room. I would suggest that I enter the grounds invisibly with perhaps Richter as a small rodent in my pocket. And then we go and do our side of things whilst you search the room.
Right. Okay. Otherwise, we could each take up position around the manor as pigeons, keeping an eye on the place.
Yes. Well, one or two perhaps enter the room, so we're ready for Balthazar when he enters.
I'd like to be in the room waiting, please.
I'm sure that what's his name? Fandel, the lizard guy.
Fandel.
I'm sure that he'll need all the time he can get to assess the door and the magics within the room. And Balthazar is wearing a key, is he not, around his neck?
We don't know if we need it, but I think it would be pertinent to possess this key when we enter his secret area.
Yes. And hopefully seducing him and luring him back will grant us access to that. And if all else fails, then the rest of us are there and we can take it by force if needs be.
And so my steps will be, I slip Balthazar a note informing him of the agreed location where this gift from the brothel is waiting for him. I have another idea. So I did discover that he is fond of animals, of hurting them in much the same way as I imagine he does people.
What?
Zook, how about you accompany Richter? He is in the guise of a attractive woman, I presume, and you take on the visage of a tame, beautiful, rare creature. This might make the proposition all the more tempting for him.
You want me to give him a hard-on by being some kind of cat? Is that what you're asking?
Well, not necessarily feline, but whatever you think. But
This-
we'll be crossing our T's if we do this as well.
I mean, the objective is clear, but my God, what's wrong with city people?
Well, that's why we're going to deal with this man in the way that we see fit. I mean, I'm not suggesting we kill him, but we'll be robbing him.
And this Balthazar, he owns a menagerie, does he not?
He does.
Then perhaps we can kill two birds with one stone.
We're not killing any birds.
Pardon the pun, Zook. But we could cause a ruckus and release the menagerie, freeing them from Balthazar's wrath, also securing a distraction for us.
I like the sound of that.
Absolutely. I could probably
Certainly. We don't need to actually take him to the room. As long as we get the key, I think we'll be good. But, at any point where the opportunity presents itself, we can do these things. We can...
Perhaps the menagerie is the place to be. Surely that will be quiet. No guests will be there.
A place for Zook
To
and
meet.
Richter to wait.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
but
okay.
whatever happens, we're going to have to somehow subdue Balthazar for the entire periods that we are trying to get the cubic gate, wherever it
Well-
may be.
Well, once he's charmed by Richter,
Yeah.
then he'll be more amiable and we'll be able to, I don't know, if we can get him up to the room and then we can just accost him and tie him up, that would be easy.
And do we have a way to secure Balthazar, to restrain him if all goes awry?
I got
Well,
rope.
I think if we can slip him the potion and he is beguiled by Richter, then he will be suggestible to going to his rooms, and there waiting will be Dutch. He is the muscle, so to speak.
Okay.
Very
That's
well.
good work.
And I mean, we're doing a lot of legwork, and specifically myself, and I don't want to deny Dutch from playing some kind of part, and I know this is right up his street.
Of course. It does, however, leave some things down to chance. So
There's always
just
an
be
element of
aware that
chance.
it may be up to the three of you, alone with Balthazar, to do what needs to be done.
Yes, I'm under no illusions that things might go awry, but I'm not expecting it to go smoothly. Far from.
Aye, there's a certain amount where we're just going to have to do what we can and then deal with the aftermath.
The old Gypsies of Fortune style, eh? It's worked for us so far.
You've got
So
to
in
ride
terms
the
of
wave
escape-
of chaos.
In terms of escape, Zook, can we travel via tree?
We can, but I don't think I saw a tree big enough within the grounds. Quick check, DM. Did I see a tree big enough within the grounds?
Yeah, there were loads of trees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a whole forest. Right?
It's like a planted forest in rows, and it's very sparse and spread out, and the grass is maintained. All of the leaves have probably been raked up, and there's enough light to get to it. So it's like
Yeah.
a very artificial forest.
Is there like a park or some tree-lined street near the docks that I think could be the destination tree,
In the docks,
or the merchant ward?
Dutch says yes.
I mean, it would have to be a bigger, older tree, and they're not just scattered about, especially in the docks.
Oh,
Yeah.
So can we wind walk?
Yes, but
Um,
it takes a while to cast. It's not something you can do in a rush.
But
in a panic.
there would definitely be a tree. I will say, in the dock, in the dock ward that you'd. Yeah, I guess you've been around the docks a while.
I've flown over it a few times on my way back.
Further towards the 8th ward, which would be the Commons, which is very close. There was a park.
That's where we went.
Like a
Yeah.
courtyard area, and there was a large oak tree sitting in the middle of a courtyard. It looked pretty unhappy. It's bursting the cobbles, and it's kind of
Yeah.
growing up out of it a bit.
Being
Like
strangled
it's sort
slowly.
of fighting. No, it's more fighting back and pushing things away.
Okay, nice. That's
The
my
only
kind of
issue-
guy.
that's a fucking good tree.
The only issue with traveling via tree is that it might arouse suspicion if we exit our destination from a tree.
That's true, but we don't have to hang around for long. And actually, if it's not near the docks, then it's probably... I mean, if it's a little ways out, then at least we can disappear into the city quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what happens? Like, if it most likely, what time is this going to be? Late. The only people who are going to be there are going to be pissed. So, just say we were having a piss behind the tree and they didn't see us because they're drunk.
My only other suggestion might be that we... It's pretty crazy, but we could rest within Balthazar's secret sanctum. And if we wanted, we could send Richter out, disguised as Balthazar, to say that he's feeling unwell and is taken to bed.
Oh, that's a point.
What once we bonked him on the head?
Exactly. We tie him up, keep him with us.
Yeah.
Very good idea.
And no one within the estate will question why they haven't seen Balthazar for
Balthazar
some time.
finds a maitre d' or a head waiter or a butler or whoever, and informs them that he's feeling unwell and is taken to bed.
Not to be disturbed.
Yes, perhaps Richter could even sleep within the within his quarters to not arouse, so he doesn't arouse suspicion if they are to enter.
That is fucking genius.
I certainly could, says Richter. Aiden's not coming this evening, just so everyone knows.
Okay.
Oh, really?
So he can sleep in the bed.
But I have his
And he's RPing.
character sheet. So
Who's RPing Richter?
I don't mind doing it.
Oh, okay. So that's fine. You're going to RP Balthazar and Richter, and
You've got the RP,
Yeah, I mean,
Richter,
if you're standing there, I'll RP it. If you're looking at from a distance, I'll just roll and tell you what happens.
that's true. Well,
Yeah,
Zeke
yeah.
will be right next to him if he's a tiger or something.
I'm sexy. Yeah.
Sexy tiger.
I guess.
Okay.
Damn.
It sounds like we have a bit of a plan, but one quick tweak. Do we think that Dutch should come with us? Do you think you should come with us to the menagerie, or are we taking him to his bedchamber?
My concern with that is that the more people walking around the grounds without proper things to hide them, the more likely it is that we are discovered.
True. So does it not make more sense to take him to the bedchamber?
Yeah.
Yeah, is
Take
that what we're doing?
Balthazar I don't think we need to so we just need to decide on a place for Zook and Richter to be met by Balthazar.
I see. And then
Somewhere
we can
where it's going to make
go
sense.
to the bedchamber afterwards with Balthazar.
Yes.
What if he wants to fucking menagerie?
Yeah.
Is there perhaps an upper foyer on the way, in between the rooms and the ballroom?
Look,
I will.
if you take him with a sex worker to his torture chamber, where do you think he's going to want to have sex?
In his chamber.
No.
In the
Obviously
menagerie.
not.
You mean by torture chamber? You mean the menagerie?
Yeah.
No, I think his chamber is where the secret door is. I don't think it's for prying eyes. This is not This is not well-known information. He keeps it under wraps.
Perhaps you will have to scope it out at the moment. On your way down from his chamber, you'll likely see a place that you can invite him to.
Indeed. The menagerie may even be behind the bookcase if he wants to keep it that secret.
Did we find out where the menagerie is
No.
when we were scoping it out? No.
No.
Oh, I thought someone said it was at the bottom of the garden. Sorry,
You
yeah.
didn't see any kind of menagerie inside at all.
Oh,
It's
then,
just
yeah,
somewhere.
Was there another building
Getting
then?
you back to his bedroom, then yeah, we just need to get
There
him
was
back to his
there was some greenhouses, and
Not
but
greenhouses.
there were no other like large buildings on site. No, the only other thing
Yeah.
was the maze.
Okay. So I think it's probably
Okay,
behind his
well.
bookshelf, right? It's got to be.
Gypsy, as I think the plan is together, no?
Well, as much as it'll ever be, I'd say.
Yeah. It'll be
Nice.
fine. It'll be fine.
What's
I'll,
the time now, Tashi?
It is after doing all of that. We'll say you got up about 10. You went out. We'll say 2 in the afternoon.
Okay. So I guess I'll let Fandel know to meet us at 9 or 10. Is that right?
I
A good
could-
time?
I'm just thinking if I can get in there and as before the party and sort of figure out a place for Balthazar to meet you, and let you know somehow.
You could use this time now in the afternoon. Surely they will be busying themselves amongst the estate, organising the party.
I will tap my abilities if I do that. I think I'm going to need to potentially use both.
Well,
of my...
one thing I could say is like we do have this. If you need to use the scroll of major invisibility, which I believe we got somewhere.
How long does that last for?
I have no idea.
An hour, I think. So it's more advanced than what I do, and I know that I'd be able.
Greater invisibility is only a minute, but it is greater, so you can attack and shit, and it doesn't break it.
Okay.
But it doesn't last an hour; it only lasts a minute.
I can recap. I'm just thinking in terms of scouting out an area, and then.
I mean,
well, do you know what? I will have to break invisibility to turn myself into a servant. And then I could message you to let you know an area that is secluded.
That's true. So, do you want to sneak in there in the afternoon or tonight?
Tonight. It needs to be tonight. We need to do it all together, I think.
Aye, because Richter's getting in your pocket as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, that's a good point, actually. Richter will be with me, so he'll know where to go. In fact, I can drop him off wherever he needs to go. Zook, how about you travel in my pocket as well? So the two of you are together.
I can do.
Then I will find a place. I just simply place you there. Once I've...
Yeah, that could work. I mean, I could still... I could fly up and meet the others as soon as we're in.
You'll need to meet Richter again to be the creature that whatever you decide to be.
That's true. I can make my way through the estate as a beetle or something very unnoticeable.
Just come with. If you just come with me, that will be fine, I'm sure. Okay. If you want to go in as a pigeon, then it's up to you. But I just think if I keep you and Richter together, I slip Balthazar the note, and then I go and find. Well, we go and find a place together. You'll hear me. I'll be able to whisper to you, and then. I don't even need to whisper to you. I can just place you there, go and slip the note, or you can come with me and I'll slip the note, and then I'll go back there and place you.
No, I like it. That's good. We'll do that. I guess the party. I mean, what time do social gatherings begin in a city? Dutch, do you know? When does the party kick off in Zampar?
Well, it depends when the party starts, doesn't it?
I know, but do we know this?
Aristocratic party such as this, I would say 9 at the earliest.
Unless there's a feast beforehand, but yeah.
I guess we can wait outside the estate and see when the guests enter. And once they enter...
Yeah, what's the nearest pub to the estate?
I don't know if you'd have found it. You walked around the estate, but...
Why don't we all enter as pigeons? And then
we
can sort of position at different windows and sort of judge it based on that, and we can meet every hour back on a specific ledge.
That's true.
And then when I feel like I need to do what I need to do, I can just turn myself invisible and move into the manor house itself.
Yeah, that sounds good, and we can get a gauge as pigeons, and everyone can have a look and get a feel for the building.
How long
Zook,
does it last?
A question on the spell. Can we turn in and out of pigeons at will?
No. So I am the one that changes your appearance, or what animal you are. I can change you between beasts for 24 hours, but as soon as I turn you back to you, that's it. That's you done.
I see. Because once we arrive, we'll need to turn back and in order to break in.
And that's why I was asking if we should perhaps sneak in otherwise and then break out. But I think if we've got a tree, we can use that to get out. Or at least the menagerie.
Or we spend the night in his secret area, and do that side of things.
We could, but I don't like the idea of spending a whole night inside someone's most prized
It feels risky. The longer we're there, the more chance we'll be discovered.
We'll play it by ear.
Aye.
But it's a good option.
Yes.
I think there's too many variables. We've probably planned as much as we can, and only the winds can guide us now.
Okay. So, gypsies, where to first?
So I guess I'll let Fandel know to meet us at 9.
You wait another. I think it was probably late. I feel like it was later in the day because I remember being like, you said, "Oh, get in contact every 3 hours or something," and I remember saying 5 and 8 and 11 or something like that. So
we could sort of go near to the entrance and then just wait and watch guests enter and stuff, and then sort of as it starts to, then we can sort of do it based off that. We find like an abandoned house opposite the main gate, where carriages will most likely go.
Yeah, that's a good
say
idea.
As Dylan.
Okay,
that makes sense.
So you're going to make your way towards the estate in the working guilds.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. It takes the better part of an hour to trek across town. You kind of naturally at this point are trying to keep to crowds and side streets as to not be completely out in the open, hoods up, etc., as you have been doing for the last few days. There's one point in your journey where through the sort of throngs of people, you hear this sort of whistling, like when wind blows very quickly through thin kind of sheets of metal, or perhaps bits of fabric, and creates a sort of whistly type noise, just streaks sort of over your head at pace, and you look up and you see two tattered sort of robed, shiny helmed figures just sort of whipping across the sky.
Inquisitors, careful.
But nevertheless, you eventually make your way towards the estate of the Midnight Mercers. Fandel gets in contact during this time, and you let him know. You were going to let him know that he should meet you at what time and where?
At
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Wherever we are.
Well, as early as possible. It'd be good to talk. To him.
What time are we heading? Are we not heading there at 9? We're heading there in the afternoon.
We're heading there now, and we're just going to scope it out, I think.
Yeah, I would just say immediately by the main entrance, whatever entrance, the west, north, east, or south, whatever the one's the predominant one that we're heading.
It would be the south entrance.
Yeah.
Is the
So
main
meet us
one.
at this. Yeah, away from the south entrance, or around it.
At what
Now.
time? Or now?
As soon as he can get there.
Okay. There isn't a response because he was the one contacting you, but it's gone through. You eventually reach the kind of street, and it's a kind of straight street, and then at the end it kind of begins to curl around the estate. You can see sort of the estate, the trees of the estate above. Oh yes, please. The trees of the estate above the wall. It looks as though the gates are closed, and there are at least double the amount of guards posted at the entrance. There was only 4 before, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, but you notice there's at least 8, and you can see some of them are kind of like busying themselves. It looks as though the table where they play dice isn't there anymore, and it seems a little bit more on guard or a little bit more official. Perhaps the party, or perhaps the two guards that never showed. You're unsure. You're looking for a sort of spot where you can be and sort of stay unnoticed. I'll get someone to make me either an investigation or a perception check.
I'll do
a perception.
Can I do an investigation as well?
Yeah.
28.
That's better than what I rolled.
Rufus looks around and he says, "Have we been here before?"
Oh, really?
Very familiar.
With your great wisdom, Zook, and your vast intelligence, Brother Draug, you locate a spot. There seems to be a cafe, a sort of one of the sort of shop fronts, or one of the houses seems to have a shop front, in which there are sort of benches outside. The kind of cobbled streets here are wide and large, and it's sort of like similar to the pub that you visited. There's lots of benches outside, and there's lots of people seemingly kind of congregating there and eating. And it's a ways down the street, so if you were looking down the road, you'd see straight to the wall where the entrance would be. It's probably the best shot you've got. It doesn't appear like you'd be able to break into any houses necessarily that would be abandoned in this area. The working guilds is pretty packed.
Okay. Before we go and sit down, I'm just gonna just for shits and gigs, I'm gonna turn my face away and cast Alter Self and just become like a really happy sort of portly old deep gnome, instead with like mutton chops and like sort of old spectacles sort of thing, and big warts on his face, just kind of grinning, like he's drunk too much beer and tea simultaneously.
Nice.
Say Richter looks like Hammond, maybe, or someone.
Yeah.
Maybe not Hammond, just someone new. I don't know.
Richter's gonna look like
he's gonna look like a woman actually, because he's trying to get into he's trying to practice. Like,
sure, yeah. He's gonna look like a young Waora Key.
Ooh.
Oh.
Don't know how I feel about that.
Not. He's not prostituting it up. His is just practice.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll change his face like frequently, I'd imagine. Cause
Yeah.
Does she look as fierce and determined as the old Waora Key?
Richter probably would have put all of what he knows about her and her character into this youth, whether or not that's the case.
Cool.
Rufus, for you, it is quite striking to see, as Richter has maybe through his sketching and his sort of like intuition, has really captured what you remember her to look like, in her sort of like early 30s.
Yeah. My Richter. This takes me back to the days in Soul Reach with Waora. God, what a life we led back then.
Well, I'm just trying to get into character. Come, let us have a spot of lunch. And he takes your arm.
Even the mannerisms, how does he know?
I guess we sit down and get some tea.
Yeah,
You sit down
keeping
outside
a
with a
sort
good
of side
spot.
glance on the door.
Yeah, you sit down at a good spot where you're about 100 feet, 120 feet maybe away from the end of the road where the gate is across the road. So it's not too far, and for those with keener eyes and keener senses, you're able to sort of pick up on it.
Can I just sit next to Dylan and just tell him when I see Vandel, I'm going to tell him to quietly send a message to turn to the cafe so that he can like find us straight away.
Okay.
You'll have to point him out to me.
Yeah, I'll describe him.
Well,
I can have Ook on my shoulder as well.
You'll
just sort of,
have
like,
to
swiveling around.
yeah, you'll have to describe him if you're using Ook, or describe his smell or his mannerisms.
Can I
I'll have
hold his
I'll have
arm and like aim it?
I'll have Ook on my shoulder, and so I can just quickly look through Ook's eyes when Zook says, and then I can message.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you all sitting down together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see why not, right?
A half elf older woman comes over. She has a tray of what look to be these kind of like desserts. They're in sort of like clay little pots with lids, and as she takes them off, it looks to be some kind of steamed rice, something or other. It smells wonderful. It smells quite sweet. She puts it down on a table next to you and turns with the tray under her arm. You're an interesting looking bunch. What can I get you?
Whatever that smell is, smells great.
I'll take what he's having, and then just point to a random customer drinking some hot beverage.
Turns to you, Rufus.
Me? Well, I'll have a warm spiced wine, if you will.
I think we can rustle that up. And for you, big fellow?
Have you got a sort of jasmine and chamomile calming blend?
I think we probably do somewhere, or something along the lines of.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. Very well. I'll be back shortly. And Wayora says, "Oh, and for me, I'll have. Do you have some kind of dessert that I could tuck into?" She's like, "I've got just the thing." She wanders off. You spend the next, I'll say, like half an hour, sort of sitting, and the food comes over. It's not necessarily jasmine, but it's some kind of like smooth herbal blend. You get the same, Zook.
Nice.
Rufus, you get your spiced wine, like a mulled wine. It's warming and it's heated.
Yes.
Drow, what did you order?
I didn't.
You
I mean, I was gonna, but
What did you want to order?
maybe like maybe a mead.
Yep.
Oh God, there's a cafe.
Yeah, but they've got drink.
I just
No license needed.
Dylan
As he
chuckles to
brings over
himself.
Dylan's one, I'm going to look at it and go, "Can I have a mead as well, too, please?"
She sighs and goes and fetches you one. She brings over Richter what looks to be in a sort of clay pot. What looks to be kind of like a ye olde creme brulee. And it smells and looks great. And he daintily tucks into it with a spoon, just as Wayora would.
Is that what you're eating right now? A creme brulee?
It is, yeah. It is looking great. She says.
Sounds delicious.
Excuse me. That is delicious.
I've got a baklava in the fridge.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
After about 45 minutes, and you finish the food, but you're still drinking. Zook, with your high passive perception, you notice an older gentleman walking down the road, alone, cane in hand. A large sort of like brown leather travel cloak wrapped around him, but you notice the sort of more silken mage-like slippers upon his feet.
Yeah, with the little curled toes.
Yeah, like they're blue and gold, and they look really comfy.
There's a little pom pom on the end.
Yeah,
The cane that he's using doesn't look like a cane, but looks like some kind of like wizard staff. It's not like a gnarled old branch. It's like Gandalf the white staff. It's like a simple sort of like cream staff with a sort of ball on the end. Classic.
That ain't got shit on the high canopy. I point him out to the others and I say, he's there. Look through the owl.
Before I look through the owl, I'll be like, you sure he's not being followed?
I'll check to see if he's being followed.
Maybe a perception
Anyone looks
check.
sketchy. 23.
He does not appear to be being followed.
Okay. I don't think so. Looks like the coast is clear.
And just placing a thin bit of copper wire to my neck, I'll form that mental link to the figure that I see, or that I've noticed through Ook's eyes. Fandel, friend of Zook here, sitting in the cafe behind you, to the left.
Oh my! The figure stops. And you see like sort of the hood come back a bit, and you see the bushy, silvery.
I'll send another one. I'll say, look for a wide-brimmed hat and an owl.
Yes. Don't need to tell me. As he shuffles forwards, eventually he comes up close enough and takes a seat at the table on the end next to you all. He slowly sort of pulls back his hood, and his sort of mad beard and scraggly sort of hair at the back poke out, his sort of bulbous nose out the front, and his little spectacles on the end. Well, old Fandel's here now. This is mighty exciting. Ooh, creme brulee. He takes a. I haven't had that in years.
Can I turn to him, just be like, it's a lovely day to be out enjoying the sun, isn't it, friend?
Yes, let me just check his wisdom. He nods and winks at you. It is indeed, old friend. It is indeed. So, what's the plan then? As he looks around at you all.
Is there anyone?
The strong man. He points at Dutch. Yes, the muscle. He points towards you, Zook, and it's like the brains of the operation. Turns towards you, Dylan. Yes, the quiet and stealthy one, I assume. And then turns to Richter, the beautiful femme fatale, the charmer, I assume, and you, and looks over towards you. Yes, the leader. I remember you before. Well met, everybody.
Well, it might be a little unsafe for us to disclose the evening's plans sat here, but we can unveil them as the evening progresses.
He like sort of almost squirms with excitement in his seat. Yes. I wasn't sure if everyone had eaten. I brought some luncheons from the cafeteria. He opens his cloak and pulls out some like sort of paper wrapped sandwiches of some kind.
Yeah, I'll have them.
He passes them round.
Oh yeah, jump into that.
As Rufus takes a sandwich as they pass round, he will maintain his grip on Fandel's hand for a moment and say, Fandel, I hope you're aware of the danger of this evening.
His face kind of...
Are you truly prepared?
He loses the kind of charming pretense of his old age, and he looks directly into your eyes. He says, I just want to live a little. I don't exactly know what it is that you're doing, but I know you, and I know you to be good folk. And I shall keep you safe, nonetheless. And don't worry about an old man like me.
Rufus pauses for a moment and looking into his eyes, and then gives him a small knowing nod, and then releases his hand and sits back a little bit more quickly into the back of his seat and lets out a chuckle. So, what brings you out on a fine day like this, friend?
Oh, well, I came to bring you your lunches, of course, and to tell you of the children. The children, they are. Oh, yes, they are. They certainly
How
are.
many of them are there now?
Oh, too many.
My friend.
Too many to count. The children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, they're all running about and...
I hope you get them into a good school.
Oh, they certainly shall. They shall follow after their great-grandfather's footsteps. I am sure of
Good.
that.
Aye.
Well, you've bought us lunch. How about we buy you dessert? I saw you eyeing up our friend's creme brulee there.
Well, yes. I certainly have one. You sit for a time then, so you're waiting until guests potentially start arriving or there's activity at the gate.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're like those more perceptive, so like keeping an eye out, not only at the gate, but also for anyone who might be giving us unwanted attention.
Okay, in that case,
we want to be like, we want to be on our way once the party, we feel like it's underway,
like
so
in
that
full swing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So roll me
We've
perception
got
checks for this time.
24.
24.
natural one,
I mean,
an unnatural -3.
I'll just roll for Ook because I'm blind.
Okay. Yeah, you can't really see.
An 18.
An 18. I will say that in order to stay at the cafe, the sort of cafe owner is quite insistent that you need to keep buying things at least.
It's one of them.
I have a few meads and a few creme brulees.
You keep.
Not too many meats.
Is anyone going to be straight drinking for the next few hours? Because I will require a con roll.
How many hours is it?
You got there at maybe like 3, half 3, and then you started sort of drinking half an hour later. So yeah, a good like 3 hours, 4 hours potentially of being at this cafe.
I'll say that Dylan has his first mead, but then moves on to the black coffee afterwards.
Sure. Dutch, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Can I be having Irish coffees?
Sure. You have to shit
Roll
your
with
pants a few
advantage.
times, but other than that, yeah, just make me a Constitution saving throw.
Roll that dice, Theo.
Oh, I'll roll it for you. Shall I use the big black balls?
No, use my dice.
I haven't got them out.
Oh, you bastard. Yeah, you...
Or did you leave them at Theo's?
It's a natural 18 on the dice.
Oh, okay.
So an 18 plus
Gotta have a high
9.
con save.
Oh, you quaff them down time and time again. And not only that, but you only need to go for a wee one time, and that is it.
Seal is unbroken.
I'll say that all in all for this time, it'll be like 3 gold each. So just mark that off.
Easy.
For the drinks and food.
I left my gold at the
I've got you. That's cool.
Yeah, thanks.
After this time, eventually it gets later and later. Sun sets. The cafe sort of loses most of its most of the people that are frequenting it, and it begins to shut at about 8 o'clock as the lady comes out and says, "Well, I don't mind you sitting here. You've been here all day, catching up, I assume. But I have to close shop now, unfortunately." And she sort of begins like, pulling up the overhang, and putting some of the benches on top of the things. I mean, I could stay around for a bit longer, but
What if we buy one more round and then call it quits after that? We'll give you a good tip. Won't you, brother?
Whatever you say, brother.
roll me a persuasion check.
Theo, roll that dice.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll roll. Oh, for you. Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You don't have your dice. It's a 9.
A 9.
Whatever his bonus is.
So it's a 10.
Fine. Okay. But no longer. No longer
You're
than
an
an hour.
Thank you.
How much gold do I mark off?
How much are you tipping her?
I don't know, 2 gold?
Yeah,
And a round.
that's another round of drinks. That's a pretty good tip.
So
How
mark
much did we spend in total?
3 gold each.
How many of us is there? 10 of us? No, 10? 7 of us?
There are
Us
7
plus
of you.
Richter
Yeah.
plus.
Okay,
And,
I'll tip a 3 gold. That seems
Alright.
reasonable.
So mark off 4 gold because it's a gold for the next round for everyone.
Alright. Yeah.
You stay for the extra hour. She begins to sort of pack
as
up.
we're sitting here for the next hour, I might. As we're sitting here for the next hour, in order to not make us look suspicious, what I'm going to do is on the table that we're sat at, I'm going to. Oh, I've got back. It's telling me my connection's unstable.
Yeah, it was a bit weird.
So
You're
I'm
back
going to
now.
basically.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
I can hear you crystal clear, friend.
So for the next hour, in order to make it not seem suspicious that we're waiting here, I'm going to pull out some bones from a little hare, and I'm going to shake them up, and I'm going to basically look like we're playing some kind of game, but I'm also going to give like everyone like a druidic reading of like their. I'm going to sort of read the bones and sort of just to pass the time, whilst
Cool.
also keeping an eye out.
All right.
And see.
Over this hour, guests do begin to arrive. Pretty much, I say pretty much, all in carriage. Various carriages of, you imagine, noble guests of wealthy families and sort of merchants begin to arrive in a variety of luxurious carriages. No one exits, but they are pretty thoroughly searched, and they seem to hand over some form of ticket or some kind of documentation before being allowed entry into the estate. The hour goes past and carriage after carriage after carriage begins to enter until even there's quite a queue for a while. And eventually, as it gets to about 9, pushing sort of like 9:30, all of the carriages seem to have entered. There's only occasionally one that seems to be coming to the gates. The cafe is shut, and you are now standing on the side of the road. What are you doing, everyone?
I suppose
Can we make our way
find
to
the
somewhere?
spot.
Somewhere secluded.
Yeah, you can find somewhere relatively secluded in an alley.
I guess we go there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to give a rundown to Fandel about what to expect, and to not make any noise and be as quiet as possible, sort of thing. I mean, I'm guessing he would assume so. And then I will be like, so are we ready?
Before we go, I'm just going to get next to Dutch and Ruthus. I'm just going to place a hand on each of their shoulders, one higher, one lower, and just say, You may need a little extra speed later on, so hopefully this will help. And you see their visage, just if you're paying attention, just flicker for a second, and it's almost like they've leapt forward in time and then reversed very quickly. And you both have a gift of alacrity.
Ooh.
Oh shit, yeah.
Voice. What does it
Fandel,
do again?
Fandel turns to you and says, "Ah, purveyor of the arcane arts, I see. And not only that, but dunamancy. Interesting."
No, what? Sorry? It's just a little something I was working on for a while.
It's time-related magic, you see. It's very rare that people possess such abilities to be able to cast that kind of magic.
My
Actually,
skills are not much, but just this was something I was working on for a while. It's good to give it a name. Sorry, Rufus, what was that?
Fandel, actually, this might be a good chance. What's your specialty, in a nutshell?
Well, it is antiquity. My field, I am Fandel of the Fifth Tower. Fifth Tower is known for its research and well-mannered pupils.
But in terms of the arcane itself.
Oh, quite right. Well, I dabble in a few different schools, but primarily I would say illusionary magic is my specialty.
Interesting. Good to know.
Yes, so I can whip up a simple illusion, as well as creating one that could perforate for days.
Could it be
This
one
could,
that could walk around and talk to people?
Let me remember.
Rufus, you're going to have to be careful about
Um,
not getting too close to anyone,
well,
speaking too much.
illusionary magic tends not to be the physical, but rather the mental. It exists, but only in our minds. So I can make it last for quite a long time, but if someone were to merely wave their hand through it, they would see it but a trick.
I see. Good to know.
On the practical side of things, are you able to... We should have asked this earlier, really. Are you able to dispel arcane traps and locks?
I do not have I do not have the ability for dispelling such magic, but I can certainly find and see the type of magic that it is. I can stop magic in its tracks in case we come up against another mage of some kind.
This might put a stopper in one of our plans.
Perhaps I should go with the others then, because I can get rid of the ward, as it were.
Right. Had I known, I could have prepared such a spell.
Perhaps we should have told you. But nonetheless, I'm sure your skill set will be very beneficial to us.
If needed, I could make us all look like other people. It would be illusionary magic, but I could whip that up. We could all be
That could
pupils.
help us.
We could all be rich nobles. If we wanted, we could all be anything, really. Crates.
You know what a tabaxi is?
Yes, we could be cat folk.
How about... so this doesn't matter too much. How about Rufus? You take Zook's place as this creature. That, but because as it is, Zook is the one who will turn you into it anyway.
That's true. So you could be a pigeon or whatever it is. I could turn you into it. So we switch places.
And sorry, so what will my role be?
Well, instead of me going and being an animal to entice this Balthazar back to his chambers, you go instead, so that I can go to the window and dispel the ward on the window, so that we can gain entry. So you go with Dylan and Richter.
Very
and then
well.
we lure him back.
Very well.
Might have to be a quick change of plan there.
But we will have to meet you so you can turn him into this rare creature.
I can do it at will. He doesn't need to be near me, so long as I know that you're in place.
I will message you, as I will have to drop my invisibility anyway. So.
Okay. So, do we think we're ready?
Quite.
Yes.
Quite right.
Time is of the essence.
So be it. Prepare to feel a little like your feathers have been ruffled. I'll hold the staff up and start whirling it around my head as kind of wisps of thin cloud kind of ripple around us, and they spread out. Each one carves around someone else. As smoke begins to rise around you, and an almost silent tornado of grey smog suddenly evaporates, and left there are 6 or 7 little pigeons just flapping on the floor, flapping around.
All just.
Start pecking some seed.
What about your belongings? Does it transform those with you?
Yeah, it's basically like
Wild shape.
Wild shape.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Cool.
it's the same effect. So I'll start like pecking at everyone and flapping and kind of trying to be like a bit more nudging and be like, and then like flap up towards the end of the alley and kind of beckon with my beak.
Okay.
And
What happens to your intelligence when you're a pigeon?
they stay the same with this spell. The only thing that changes is your strength, dex, and con mod.
Oh, amazing! That's so
your
good.
physical attributes, yeah. So you're not
Your
actually a
physical
pigeon.
attributes.
You're yourself in a pigeon's body.
You are just as intelligent. You have all of your memories and thoughts and your
Nice.
personality. So yeah, I guess we'll flap up and start heading across the wall.
Seeing as Dutch has Dutch's mind, can you take this opportunity to shit on a noble, please?
There aren't really any particularly near you. You can shit on one of the carriages.
After all of those Irish coffees, you are so ready.
I'll save it.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you fly up, as like your wings flap so hard it literally pushes the air out of yourself. Pigeons just go as they fly because they're just like doing this so hard. You arc over and up into the estate. It's dark by this point, but you can see lanterns have been lit in the trees at various intervals up one of the paths that leads to the grand estate. You can see a few carriages kind of trundling their way up. And unabated, you seem to fly all the way across and eventually come towards the estate itself. You can see that the marquees have been fully set up outside, and there's stalls and lights and people mingling about. There's noise, there's music, and all seems pretty jolly. In fact, we should put some jolly music on. I wonder if we can put some kind of... Yeah. As you flap over this sort of noble market, you can see various servants with trays and platters of food moving about the gardens as people arm in arm kind of look at the grandeur of the estate. You can see all the lights are lit up on the inside of the manor, as well as like large sort of magical lanterns that seem to be floating sort of around the outside, giving it that kind of underlit cathedral style lighting. Flapping over and being caught in those lights, you eventually make your way and land on the rooftop of the manor.
Can we make our way to the balcony that we know is adjacent or next to Balthazar's window?
Yep. You all flap down and land within that balcony, and you can see that there is a guard standing on the balcony facing out, sort of looking over the edge, smoking some kind of pipe and just kind of watching the nobles beneath. He has a crossbow to his left that's propped up on the sort of stone pillars of the railing. He's just watching over.
Can we see into Balthazar's window?
Not from the balcony. That you'd have to go.
There's a window ledge, right?
To the window ledge, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, can we climb around?
You all kind of fly off round, and the guard does kind of turn round and watch this sort of flock go off. Doesn't seem to bother him at all. You flap round, and all one by one land on this window ledge. It's like an inner corner like this. So you're landing on the window ledge and of the kind of like 90-degree angle. There's the window that you climbed out of, and there's the window that you couldn't climb into, and you're kind of on the ledges of both.
Okay, are we out of sight of the guard here?
Yes, yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. All right. And is the ledge big enough for us all to sort of hug, to stand on?
It is across both, so you have to kind of like split yourselves.
Okay.
The door that the window you climbed out of is shut.
Okay. And what of the one into Balthazar's room? Can we have a peek through?
Sure, maybe a perception check.
24.
The lights are on in the room, or at least a lantern is lit within the room, but no one is within the room itself. But you can see kind of more clearly into it. The same small kind of, well, not that small, but like medium-sized chamber, 4-poster bed, the same bookshelf, the same wardrobe, and you can see to the left the door that would let you in.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't appear that anyone is in.
Okay.
We're gonna scout, aren't we, for to sort of see what's going on with the party.
Yeah.
Before we do anything. I mean, obviously, Zook and Dutch and Vandal can all break in now if they wanted.
Yeah. Let's scout out just in case, because we can. Just in case Balthazar comes back or something into the room, I reckon it'd be good to stay outside. And so I guess we'll all go to flap around the estate, see what's in it.
Different positions, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We could split in half and each go an opposite direction until we get back to this window again.
I will say that you have no way of telling each other that.
True.
You have no way of communicating.
The only thing we decided was that we would maybe scout for an hour and then meet back on this windowsill.
Yeah, that's the one thing we agreed to beforehand.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just flap off to a
So I'm just going to
window.
go. Yeah, we should just go do our own thing, really. Sort of.
Okay. So all roll me a perception check in that case. It is your perception because.
We gesture to our eyes with our wings, like.
Yeah, you could definitely move like a person.
Got an unnatural 0.
Nice.
Nice. 33.
33.
Poke yourself in the eye.
Dutch, what's your modifier?
-2.
You got a 6.
Oh,
Nice.
interestingly, you look at Brother Draug as a pigeon, and he is still blind, even as a pigeon.
Oh no! So you don't know you're about
really?
to hit a window until it suddenly comes within 50 feet.
You still have your same blind sense, but physically as well, the pigeon has these black sort of veins poking from either side of his face. It looks pretty fucked.
It's like Shaun of the Dead.
A really ugly pigeon.
Kind of pigeons on me.
So I guess I'm just using my hearing.
Yeah.
I'll roll with advantage, but obviously it's just my hearing, so we'll see. Oh, that's actually better. A 19 for what I can hear. I guess we're just wait. We should just wait for Zook then. I think at this point.
Zook, you fly and scout around the estate, and
Maybe.
you see the outside. People are kind of like mingling around the kind of courtyards and gardens. There's the main kind of, I guess, party is happening in the grand hall in the very center of the manor, and you land on one of the large sort of window ledges and look through, and you can see within there's sort of like tables and a dance sort of area where people are kind of like moving about and spinning. There's a band. There's a raised sort of dais area, but you don't spot the target that you are currently looking for. You don't recognize any of the people, but you do kind of recognize potentially where they're from. There seems to be lots of people that fit the same kind of description, the purple kind of guild members. But there's also merchants of all kinds here, very wealthy ones. There's all manner of different sort of races. There's a kind of vast sort of collection of different races. What you don't see is any races that would be animal-like. So you don't see any tabaxis or any loxodons or any kenkus or bird folk, the aarakocras. You don't see any of that at all. You keep going round and you can see that like the people are walking through the greenhouses and things like that too, but no one seems to be going to the maze. The maze is large, vast, and it doesn't appear to be accessible to the general public. In fact, there's a few guards posted at the entrance to the maze that are telling people that they can't go in. There are no lights within the maze either, and it looks to be like an area that isn't being used as part of the party.
All right.
And to be honest, it looks quite ominous, like you probably wouldn't want to go in there anyway, because you'd just probably get lost if you were just some party folk wandering around, because it's not like some little fun hedge maze. It's like a massive hedge maze.
Yeah. You'd have to shit in it.
It weirds you out once again looking at it. It's like nature, but being made into geometric shapes. It's been like cut and shaped, and it doesn't feel right to you at all as a druid.
No. I pigeon poop on it.
You fly over the top a bit, and you let loose a poop. It can't really see. It disappears into the maze itself. In fact, what did you roll, a 33?
Yeah.
Yeah, with your eagle eyes, you see the poop hit the surface of the maze. It scatters sort of across some of the hedgerows at the top, and you swear you see the hedge maze move.
Oh, fucker! It's a fucking goblet of fire. Okay.
You continue to fly around, and at this point, you see a figure that you recognise as Lord Balthazar. He stands out it looks like he's exited one of the marquees. He stands out sort of talking with a variety of merchant folk. He is flanked like just behind, sort of facing in a different direction, by what looked to be a guard, a single guard. But this guard doesn't look like the kind of merchant guards that you've seen patrolling the grounds. They are large. They are probably about 6.5 foot tall, and they are wide. They are pale-skinned and covered in tattoos from sort of like head to toe, all around their body. They're bald. The tattoos cover their head as well, and they just wear what look to be sort of like almost gladiator-style sort of leathers, kind of like strapped around them.
Nice.
And on their back, a sort of large broadsword.
Does it look like a Goliath?
Have you've met Goliath,
We've
of course,
seen
in the
some in
Vermont.
the fan
Yes,
art.
yeah, you recognise it as this is a Goliath.
Okay. Right. No, I will note that. But Balthazar's outside currently, mingling with guests.
He's outside mingling with the guests. Yes.
Good to know.
As
Right.
you see him kind of move and mingle, you overhear some conversation, and I'll say that actually no, Draug, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't know it's necessarily his voice. You hear him. Ah, yes, thank you for coming. It is a mighty pleasure. There will be an extra special celebration later that please, I insist you stick around for. It's lovely to see you once. Oh, yes, I must leave. And, he's going on, he's doing the sort of greetings around. Oh, it's wonderful to see you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you shouldn't have. He takes a present from them. How old am I? Oh, I'm into my 60s now. But all birthdays seem to feel the same. But thank you, of course. And he continues.
Okay, good to know that he's out of the bedchamber and he's in the party. So I think I'll head back and I'll go around and find all the other pigeons and just like give them a little flap on the head as I fly by to just indicate that I'd like them to follow me.
Okay. You all flap back and you land on the windowsill once more. It was going to be an hour, or are you not doing it an hour?
I guess if that's all we've got gauged, I guess we'll just go straight in.
Yeah, let's fucking send it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So back to the ledge.
Fandel, I'll say, sort of just flapped behind you the whole time.
Yeah.
Following you about. Yeah.
I mean, obviously this is extremely meta, but are we gonna wait for a while longer and just sort of bide our time? Because obviously, if the party's just sort of underway, we don't want to bust a nut too early, really.
Yeah, true. So we could just sort of flap about and be pigeons for a couple of hours.
Well, if you heard him saying about there's going to be some surprise thing, he's not going to leave before then, and you would know
That's
that.
true.
Wouldn't you? Zook would understand that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I guess.
You can flap about.
Also,
for a bit
would
longer
Zook
then.
have seen if he was drinking anything and what that would have been?
I don't know. He didn't ask.
Yeah.
That's
point.
fine.
Good point. I'll just. I will just get. I guess we will just keep doing some recon around for a few more hours.
Roll me another perception check then. Zook mainly. Everyone else, what are you doing as pigeons during this time?
I want to shit on rich people.
Okay.
Okay.
This has got to be some
Dutch,
kind
you
of
find
roll to
a
attack.
couple of people that are sort of away from the crowds, as to not obviously attract suspicion to yourself. Maybe there's two rich-looking sort of younger lovers that are wandering the sort of grounds, and you fly over. I would like you to make me an a ranged attack roll as a pigeon.
Brother, if you'd be so kind to roll a dice.
D20, add a pigeon's dexterity.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a natural 19.
Oh.
Don't worry about what the plus is. The sort of scattered white shit lands in a kind of arc, like that across, hitting up the skirt and dress of the lady and splatting up the face of the younger man and his moustaches. Oh, God. Oh, they begin spitting on the ground. Oh, and the lady turns around and slaps the man. I knew this would happen with you. It's just my luck. And she begins running off, and he's left there looking around as you fly off.
Can I do that clapping one?
Sure. Rethus, what are you doing during this time?
Rufus is going to flap around the estate taking a perch on a branch or a ledge, wherever it may be, and keeping an eye out for other guards, like the one on the balcony that we saw. And he's going to spend a moment sussing them out, and I'm going to know your enemy on them.
Okay, what would you like to know out of the two things?
Equal, superior, or inferior? Hit points and total class levels.
Hit points is less, and total class levels is less.
Interesting.
It's not going to be more, is it?
Okay.
It never is.
Zeke, what did you get for your perception check?
I got a 21.
Okay. Flapping about, there's nothing particularly of any further interest. The only thing that you do notice over the next sort of hour is that Balthazar seems to disappear into the sort of guest servants' quarters for a time. You imagine that this surprise is potentially coming soon. And he kind of disappears inside. It would be very difficult for you to flap inside unnoticed.
Yeah, sure.
However, you do see a down sort of further where the carriages are approaching, or some of the carriages are being dropped off. You kind of are flapping about. You land on a branch, and your tiny pigeon chest sort of freezes for just a second, as you see two figures floating slowly up through the gardens, flanking a single figure. Both creatures flanking have metal faces and tattered shreds around them. People, the guests that are seeing them, are kind of like looking, and this figure walks with a stride in their step, and you recognize them as Wendelin.
Oh God.
He reaches sort of like the top of the gardens and turns to the two inquisitors, and with a sort of wave of his hand, they both back down and head sort of into the forest. And he strides into the party. You see people recognizing him, some of which sort of greet him very happily, some of which like don't want anything to do with him and begin kind of like whispering and wandering off.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Good to know. Very, very good to know. Right. So there's a bunch of tents outside.
There's loads of marquees, yeah.
Yeah, is the majority of the party happening outside, or is it happening inside the building?
Most people are outside at the moment, but people are going in to dance and have food. It's sort of half-half.
Okay.
And as you're sort of considering this, the music seems to die down, and you hear a sort of a ding, 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 a sort of like slight bell. And people kind of begin whispering. And you hear the kind of butlers and servants say, if you'd like you to make your way inside, there's an announcement to be made on Lord Balthazar's birthday, as people like begin sort of moving in. You see from a perch on the window, Lord Balthazar comes onto sort of the main dais stage as people begin filtering in with their goblets and their glasses. And you can hear Lord Balthazar speaking and addressing the crowd. Honoured friends and guests, I've invited you all here on this special day, my birthday. And people were like, here, cheers, cheers, cheers. And as such, what would be a party without entertainment of some kind? Now, I'm sure people are aware of my vast collection over these years, and I thought, well, why not show it off this evening? I've managed to import something extra special for us, for our entertainment this evening. But, as honoured guests of you all, I trust that what goes on in these halls stays within these halls. And there's almost a slight menacing undertone to his voice. And he claps his hands. And you see coming out from the side stage a troop of what look to be loxodons, elephant folk, dressed in a variety of sort of like outfits and costumes, and they're sort of paraded onto the stage. People kind of begin sort of clapping. A few people sort of are laughing at the ones that are dressed in a more kind of silly fashion. And over the next sort of like 10-15 minutes, a display is performed where this sort of like troupe seem to be performing kind of like circus-like actions. There's like juggling, there's some fire breathing, there's that sort of that kind of entertainment. There's even bits where they go through the crowd and they kind of like interact with the crowd, and people seem to be really enjoying it. It seems to be continuing. Are you staying and watching, or are you heading back?
Is Balthazar and Wendelin both at this display?
You can see Wendelin is in the crowd, yeah, and Balthazar seems to be at the forefront of it.
Yeah. You know what? At this juncture, I feel like maybe it's a good time to try and sneak in and set up positions.
Okay.
Possibly.
As you sort of turn to leave, the main performance seems to finish, and there's like a large sort of round of applause. And some of the guards usher people to make a sort of space, a circular ring in the middle where the performers have been kind of performing. And the loxodons sort of line up within this centre. And you hear Balthazar say, "And now for the real entertainment."
Oh, I stop flying at that point and I find a ledge.
Mm-hmm.
Elephant folk, you have been invited into my house, and you must entertain my guests. Some of them look confused. They're kind of looking around. It doesn't appear that like this is part of the act. We require more entertainment. Entertainment of another kind. And you can hear like murmuring among the crowd. Only one of you will leave this mansion. The one victorious shall be gifted with jewels and gold, and their life to live. But you must fight. Fight for that freedom and that reward. And you can see them kind of like look towards each other. They're obviously a kind of practicing troupe, a family. One of them turns and blows their trunk loudly. And the kind of crowd move back, but the guards who are sort of there move closer. And you see the Goliath sort of step down into the ring, just kind of standing there, arms crossed, looking at them all. If you choose not to fight, I'm afraid that none of you will survive this. None of you at all. One of the loxodons turns to the other and says something in a language that you probably don't understand. I can't imagine. No, you wouldn't understand that, Zook. And one of the guards hands forth towards some of them a spear or a sword. Yes, Ruthus?
Question. Ruthus has beast speech, although they're not technically animals, are they?
No, they're not.
No, never mind.
They're handed various sort of weaponry, one of them turns, lunging out with a spear at one of the guards, but the Goliath is there to parry it. And you see with the broadsword off the shoulder, the head of that Loxodon is just lopped off. Blood sort of sprays across the floor as the head...
Nothing we can do.
The crowd, rather than screaming and running, just simply watches. One of the Loxodons turns, pulling a dagger out from its belt and shanking the one next to it, and it just sort of erupts into this chaos as they all begin essentially killing each other in this circular pit arena. Those that try and sort of escape, the guards hack them down, until eventually, watching on, one Loxodon remains. And the crowd cheer. The crowd all around begin kind of like clapping and watching on. And the Loxodon is sort of led off, head down, out of sight and into another chamber. They shall be rewarded for their victory this day. And what a day it is! Please, head outside. We shall clean this up and get on with our festivities. And the band begins taking up a tune again, and people make their way around the edges, filing out.
So I'm going to look for any signs. Does any of the crowd find this distasteful?
Roll me an insight check.
Oh, natural one. Fuck.
Oh.
No, it's hard to tell through a window as a pigeon.
Yep, for sure. Well, sickened and feeling as though his deepest fundamental beliefs have been pulled apart just by watching this display, Zook will flap away sorrowfully.
You regroup upon the windowsill once more. What's your plan?
So I think I can turn back into myself whilst concentrating on the spell. So I can turn myself back into Zook, I believe.
On the windowsill?
On the windowsill.
So you might be seen from the party happening beneath you outside.
Right, okay. Is it well lit?
Let me just double check exactly what side it is on.
I'll say that Dylan hops over to the window that he exited out of when they were doing reconnaissance, and sort of just like looks at the pigeon that is Zook kind of expectantly.
Yeah. So wait, is it well lit?
It's not hugely lit. It would be classed as probably dim light, but there are lights like shining up sort of on the building. If someone was to look up at that window and you were standing on the ledge, they would see you.
Yeah. Okay. So, as quick as I can, I'm gonna turn myself back into Zook, hovering by the window, and literally as soon as I am back into Zook, I'm gonna cast a hand around the sigil and try and cast Dispel Magic before doing anything. I'm going to cast it at 5th level.
Okay. Make me a stealth check.
Okay.
Because it's, you've got to speak to do the spell, and you're appearing, and this is how well you're keeping yourself sort of hidden as you do this.
Yeah. Could I cast Pass Without Trace beforehand then?
No.
Because it will laugh.
I would say, like, you would appear,
I'm
cast
about
without
to...
a trace, and that is part of what you need to be stealthy with.
Sure. Okay. That's a natural 16 for a 19 total.
Okay. Appearing, you concentrate, saying the words of wisdom and casting forth a higher level Dispel Magic, and you sense a sort of ripple of energy through the glass. You almost see the glass itself kind of like bend and warp for a second. No magic. You have dispelled whatever was on the window.
Yes. Okay. Right. Is there any way of opening the window?
Looking, it looks like it's latched sort of on the inside. So
Okay.
Not easily necessarily.
Aha.
Is there anyone in the room?
Earlier there wasn't. Are you looking through?
Yeah.
I was
100%.
with Zook's
checking
higher
before we
passive
go in.
perception. No, you don't see anyone in the room.
Okay. I'm gonna turn Dylan back.
I can
back
get
into
in
Dylan.
there and just open it.
Could you, not as a pigeon though? Could you?
Is it
Is
the kind of latch that I could open as a pigeon?
You could poke your head up, and it's one of those like.
I mean, I
pronged
could turn you
latches.
into like a gorilla, and you could open it, and then I could turn you back into a pigeon.
I can echo avatar into the room and swap
Okay.
places.
I
and
can do
then
this
just
I can do this a lot
open it.
simpler.
I mean,
Okay, sure.
Zook, you've got to remember they can't tell you that, and you don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's super meta. And the only thing I would know, really, to be honest, is that Dylan opens doors good. So I think I would probably turn him
Okay.
back into a.
do what you need to do.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what
fine.
Zook would know.
I just want to use that ability so much.
Oh, sorry.
There's so many doors that you'll get to do that with, I think. So yeah, I turn Dylan back into a person.
Okay, Dylan, make me an immediate stealth check as you.
As soon as I'm back, I cast shadow on, I don't know, my just like necklace around my mother's necklace around my neck. And yeah, so it just basically that's a cantrip, not concentration, and so it's like creates dim light around where we are.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's disadvantage to be noticed.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Make me a stealth check. Don't add that bonus that Shadow gives you yet, because this is you appearing before you've cast it.
No bonus to me. Oh, it's 32.
Oh, there isn't a bonus. Okay. You turn back, but push yourself back right into the recesses and begin to cast this as dim light sort of takes the area. You don't appear to have been noticed.
And then I will cast Mage Hand into the other room and just flip the latch.
Okay. You see this spectral hand appear, and you open the window. It opens outwards, and you're able to climb inside. All of the
Clapping.
pigeons, I assume, are you flapping in, or not everyone?
I would probably usher everyone in, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone flaps in, and you close the window behind you, and you are in Lord Balthazar's suite.
okay. Wow. Oh my God, we're in. Step one.
Rufus is going to immediately fly up to the door that goes out of the room and just like listen up to see if there's anything coming.
Okay, make a perception check.
A 1.
Cool.
He turns back to the others and lifts a wing in a thumbs up motion.
He gives you a knowing peck.
I'm going to turn everyone into cats now.
Meow.
But I'm not.
Suddenly there's like, Rufus is like quite a stalwart tabby. Dutch is like Dutch is like one of those
Short
Siamese
hair.
ones, but with so much muscle, like a really stocky Siamese.
With scars, I imagine.
A tonk Siamese cat.
Yeah. Vandel is like this old one with a kind of, the really hairy ones that have the big
Mancoon.
bushy Mancoon, yeah, with kind of a
Yes.
wispy moustache. Just like
Mancoons are huge, man.
Yeah,
like white and
They're
black.
huge.
Yeah, but he's kind of lithe. He's like walking along, all sexy. And then Richter, I'll turn back into himself.
No. We need. Oh, we don't. No,
Wait.
we don't want to do that.
Wait.
We need, because he needs to be an animal in my pocket, doesn't he? Because I need to transport.
Yeah. Oh
him.
yes. Okay. Yes. No.
Yeah.
Okay,
Luke is
alright,
smarter than
alright,
Rupert.
alright.
Yeah. Zook,
but yeah.
Zook knows the plan. Rupert's forgotten it.
Rupert forgot immediately.
All right.
And saying that, I think Rufus should also be a small animal, and I'll put them in my pockets.
Okay, you
Yeah.
scoop up both cats, and they're a little too big to fit in your pockets.
I'm not changing them. I like the cats.
I mean, it may be a little bit challenging.
Yeah. Well, there you go. D&D.
The cats aren't going to fit in his pockets.
Okay. Right. Seeing that and noticing that we absolutely cannot do this without them being something smaller, I'm going to turn them into gerbils instead.
So does everyone
But
have
they
to
have
be
the
same
same
thing?
vibe. No, not necessarily. I'm going to probably say, Dutch, do you want to remain a cat? Or meow if yes, scratch my foot if no.
I think he meowed. He's muted, but he meowed.
All right.
Meow.
Okay.
Meow.
You're staying Siamese, my friend.
Meow. For it is I.
I'm just thinking, Dylan, do you think I should change Vandel back? Do you think he'd perhaps be a bit more use as a wizard, or should I keep him small and unnoticeable?
So you're
Perhaps.
staying here with Well, I mean, we're all in this room now, so it doesn't actually matter. You could actually come with me in Rufus's place. It's up to you, really. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back onto the windowsill, enter through the other window, make myself invisible, and see if I can locate Balthazar. Which, to be honest, might be difficult with my predicament being blind and all, but which may be good reason for you to come with me.
It's true. That's true. Okay.
What if Vandel and Dutch are small creatures and they hide themselves in this room, and then when we're close, just in case anyone comes back prematurely?
It's true. Dutch.
Fandel is like on the bed doing kiddie scritches and stretching out and doing this.
So Dutch, Vandel, give me a good long back stretch if you are okay staying as cats. Put your right paw in the air if you'd rather become an ant.
I don't think you give them the choice. Then, if anyone comes in this room, they can immediately see them as cats. If they're smaller creatures, they can hide underneath the wardrobe or something.
That's
Can I
true.
be a hat and hide on top of the wardrobe?
You could just be a cat. Hey,
Fandel
let-
leaps off and goes under the bed.
Oh, that's true. They can go into the beds.
very sneaky. Good boys. And give them a little head scratch. Okay, right. Then I will... I'm then going to wild shape myself into a gerbil as well. And pour
Okay. Where's a good place for you to
Dylan.
go if you're invisible? Like, I don't know, maybe just...
Oh wait, shit!
Maybe...
No, sorry. Before I wild shape, I'm gonna put hand up against the door, and I'm gonna cast dispel magic. Wait, no, you said you're going back into the window.
sorry.
That's why. Yes. Okay. Rupert's processing. Zook knows. Okay. Yes. No. So I've wild shaped. I'm a gerbil in Dylan's pocket.
I say I put... Dylan just puts the gerbil Zook just like in his sort of like neckerchief, so he can just sort of like poke his eyes out, like
Okay.
yeah. And then I'll just like say, 2 squeaks yes, 1 squeak no, or vice versa. 1 squeak yes, 2 squeaks no.
Yeah, and maybe 3 squeaks for I've seen Balthazar.
Actually, do little. I'll explain that to do little switches with your paw.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. So, and you're taking Richter and Dutch, or Richter and
No, Richter and Rufus.
Rufus. Richter and Rufus. Okay.
Hey. If that's
do
cool,
we leave
Rufus.
Do we leave Rufus? What does Rufus want to do? What do you want Rufus to do?
I was only going because you wanted me to replace someone.
What would you be more comfortable doing?
Probably staying here
Okay.
and like sussing out the room. I don't want to like interact with anyone because I can't lie to them.
Okay. So I'll
Yeah.
I'll leave Rufus here.
As a cat, or as a
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. As a cat, 3 cats.
Yeah.
3 cats in the bed.
And then you're leaving out of the window.
I'm gonna do the shadow spell again,
Okay.
and as soon as I can see the other window, I'm gonna do Mage Hand to flick the latch, and then as soon as that's done, I'm gonna then use invisibility to then.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast invisibility and then make my way inside.
Cleverly done. You make your way across, closing the window behind you, and you are standing inside of the gallery chamber with the ships.
How is it empty?
Oh no,
here?
it's not. Sorry, that's the floor down. It's just a small gallery chamber with pictures of ships.
Okay, I'll make my way down to the gallery.
Making your way down the stairs.
Stealthily, obviously.
Okay, so make me a stealth check, please.
Okay.
And Zook, if you're poking out, you will be visible, and you will need to make a stealth check as a floating eye.
Oh.
A very small floating eye.
Oh God. What? I have no idea what the stats of a gerbil are. Let's go for a mouse. Have a mouse? No. Rat.
I'll give you advantage because you're also sort of half invisible. You're only a tiny little
Oh, that's
thing.
not better. Dexterity. They have no dexterity, so it's just a 12.
Okay.
I got like a 30.
Okay. You begin making your way downstairs, and there doesn't seem to be anyone really on the floor that you're in. But as you push open the door, oh, my door's gone. Carry on. Chat amongst yourselves.
I'm just gonna
A traveller in the night.
I'm gonna go make a quick drink because I'm thirsty as fuck.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Me too.
All right. Let's all do it. This is break.
What were they on offer? No way. What did you have?
It's actually gonna be really hard being blind.
No, well.
You went for it.
Oh
Got a
yeah.
drink.
Yeah. Need to hydrate. Oh man, I feel like my brain's whirring at 100 miles an hour.
I'm a bit concerned actually because I'm blind and I kind of like was just assuming I would be able to like figure stuff out, but it's actually really difficult.
Okay, so
Obviously.
we're going to carry on.
We'll see how that goes down.
Okay. You crack open the door stealthily, and peeking out, or sensing actually out, you can sense that there is a figure breathing, standing back to the door leading into Balthazar's chambers.
Oh, so we're not. Yeah, we're obviously, but we're not in his room, are we?
No, you're in the room. So they're standing in the corridor, and you're trying to come out of the door that is maybe 10 feet away to the left.
Oh,
You've
fuck.
cracked
Okay.
it open, and you've sensed him.
Okay. Let's have a think here. Can't do any spells.
The old chuck a rock.
I mean,
Nice squash, right?
what I'll do is I will. So I'll back myself into the room.
Yeah.
What's in the room? Sorry.
It's just full of paintings on the walls of ships.
Is there anything else?
There's a chair, but it's pretty empty. This room. It's like a little
Okay,
gallery room.
I'll just push the chair over, but like to make sort of makes effect, make a noise so it's actually
Okay.
audible from outside the room.
Kung, 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 kung. The door opens. Hey, and a guard wearing sort of the purple robes of the guild kind of looks in. He's got a lantern in hand. He sort of like looks about into the room, and the chair's just on its side.
Assassinate that fool.
He's sort of standing with a hand on the door knob in the doorway. He just looks about, backs out, closes the door.
Does he? He doesn't do. Wait. He doesn't come into the room.
No, it's not a big room. He just looks in, looks about, doesn't see, just sees the chair knocked over.
What's the sort of gap? There's no gap at all.
No, he's standing in the door.
Okay. Oh, just
He closes.
can I sense before he goes? Can I sense anyone else outside?
Make me a perception check.
Okay. 28.
No.
Okay. Seeing that he's not going to do anything, I whip my bow off my back and just go for go for a shaft, and I just unleash it into his face.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Or just into his chest.
Yes.
He stands there with the
Purple
lantern.
king,
as
this guy.
you whip it out.
And I'll go for a sharpshooter shot
Okay.
as well. So that will be a 19 to hit.
A 19 hits.
Okay.
His eyes go wide as the bolt smashes through the lantern, striking him dead in the neck as you appear in the room, letting loose that bolt.
And I just, as soon as that happens, I run forward, grab the body, and just bring it into the room.
Well, roll damage.
Oh, okay, you want me to? Okay.
Yeah, he might not die.
Fair enough.
Roll initiative.
These hardy
Is this a terrible
guards
idea?
surviving a fucking arrow to the throat.
I just want to
You
see,
wouldn't
you
die
never know.
straight away, would you? You'd be
There
there.
used to be a guard like
To be
you.
fair, this is what Rogue's all about. It's like the sneak damage.
5d6 for that. Okay. Oh, it's quite a good roll. 15.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like a fucking Zinch hero phase, this. Jesus.
Oh, damn.
Oh, burn!
Shots fired.
It's been a while, man.
Bolt of Zinch fired.
Level
I can't do
15
that.
rogue,
Zinch.
same thing.
Now I've lost my count. Now I have to start again.
Oh no.
Just use a destiny dice and make it the max.
Oh shit, we've got Doc Marty in the chat.
Doc and Marty.
Doc Marty, yeah, are you still here? I'm sorry.
Good to
That's
see.
47 points of damage.
Doc Marty.
47 points of damage.
Yeah.
The bolt takes him in the neck and he begins as he dies standing there. You run forwards, grabbing him and pull him back into the room.
Yay!
Nice.
Great.
Blood is like gushing from his neck. The arrow, shatters and evaporates out, and bits of his sort of neck are like outwards like this, and there's blood sort of pooling everywhere in the room.
I'll just grab some of like fabric and just wrap it around his neck and just tie it off.
Yeah, you can grab one of the curtains. You just pull one of the curtains down and begin just like wrapping it around him.
Yeah. Okay.
Put him in the bag of holding.
I don't have it.
Richter does.
Richter does. It's in Richter's gerbil body.
Yeah. So I'll have to use another slot for invisibility,
Okay.
and then I would go outside, I guess.
Okay, you head out, closing the door behind you.
Yeah. Where am I now?
You are standing in the corridor outside of the room to his bed chambers.
Oh, actually, before I use my could I do that? Yeah, no, okay, yeah, that's fine. So just outside there. So I'll head down to where I think the ship room is.
Okay. Make me another stealth check.
Okay. A 38.
38. You begin silently making your way down. Zook, you can make me another roll if you want as well.
For stealth?
Yeah. The stairwell is like immediately to your left from that room you just exited. And you begin curling your way down. You can hear the noises of partygoers sort of happening beneath you. And coming down those stairs, you find yourself directly by the ship chamber, which is like below. You can make your way into it if you need.
I got a 5.
Okay. You haven't seen anyone yet.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll just make my way down into the ship chamber, the ship room.
Okay. You find yourself within the ship chamber.
Is it empty?
It is empty.
Okay. Is there? Sorry, where does it lead to from here?
So the ship chamber doesn't lead to anywhere. It's just its own thing. But you can exit. No, you know what? You can exit another door into the lower great chamber, which will lead you to the balcony above the main hall.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go that direction. Just obviously looking out for.
You open the door, the other door to the ship chamber is ajar, and stepping out you can hear that there are people within this room, in the lower great chamber. There's people sort of chatting and mingling, and a couple of people seem to be kind of heading your way. You move to the side stealthily, as one of them immediately what? In your sort of direction. Oh, and one of them's like, what is it? I
duck under the cover of Dylan's clothes.
You move back down, and you hear them have some kind of strange conversation about thinking they saw something floating through the air for a second. But one of them is like, "Oh, you're probably drunk," and they begin moving on towards the ship chamber. You make your way to the balcony, and you are sort of above the main entrance, looking out over the whole hall. There's lots of noise. You can hear like clinking of glasses and food and music. Where are you trying to head to?
So I'd like to try and find actually like just a secluded corner at this point, so I can get out my parchment and ink and compose the letter, the note that will explain about the gift from the brothel.
You could have, I'll say, done this while sitting at the cafe. I feel like that was part of your plan.
I would have composed most of it. However, I would need to add a location.
Oh, I see. Okay. In which case, you make your way into the next room, which is the withdrawing chamber, and through a second door into That at this point there are like people sort of mingling around, but there's a corridor between the bed chamber you went in before and the withdrawing chamber that has nobody in it.
Bless me. Okay, so I'll finish off the note, and then as soon as that's done, I'll make my way to the balcony,
Okay.
and then overlooking the main hall, because I'd like to sort of, if there's like maybe a crack in the banisters, I can just sort of get Zook out and sort of just hold him like looking over the edge, so he can sort of see if he can find Balthazar, see if he can see.
Okay.
Like if he's down there or not.
There's a couple of people standing looking over the balcony, but crouching down in the corner and pulling him out. You hope that they probably won't notice if you're kind of shielding him. So Zook, make me a stealth check, but then make me a perception check.
Okay. Stealth is a 6.
Okay.
Perception is a 34.
Looking down, you can see indeed Lord Balthazar is mingling with guests upon the dais. You also notice Wendelin is up on the dais in conversation with him.
Okay.
You hear a, "Oh, what is that? Wait, where did it go?" And one of them turns, "What is it? I could have sworn I just seen some rodent of some kind in the corner there."
I'll back up, like obviously, and start making my. Oh man, this is the tricky bit. So obviously, you would go do one scritch for yes.
Yeah. I'd scritch
Say
you
that
say
he's down there.
He's down there, yeah.
I know his face based on sort of like sound reflections, don't I? Right? Like
You know, you could locate him.
Locate him within 50 feet. Was he 50 feet away?
No, not from up here.
Okay. I know Wendelin's going to be an issue, but I've met Wendelin, haven't I?
Yeah.
No, I haven't, but I have sort of.
You have
I know
you
him.
have sensed him. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
sensed him.
Okay. I'd like to make my way down there.
Okay, you make your way down. I'll use the same roles as before. Zook, I assume you're hiding at this point.
Yeah. Back inside.
You make your way down the big landing stairs into the main hall, and you begin with incredible stealthy ease. Moving between the crowd, not letting anyone bump into you.
So sick.
Just kind of shifting Assassin's Creed style through invisible, heading towards where?
So I will need Zook to sort of be looking around, check that I'm heading in the right direction. So he doesn't have to. He knows roughly where he is, so he can sort of poke his head out and at least sort of tell me if I'm going in the wrong direction, like hot or cold kind of thing, like yes, no, basically.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'll intermittently poke up, have a look, and then scritch yes or no.
Okay, make me a stealth check again then, please.
The Carnival of the Phantom Gerbil. Oh, that's better. That's a natural 19.
Okay.
Not plus.
Yeah, you seem to go fairly unnoticed as you scritch your way through the crowd towards where you sense Wendelin as well as Balthazar.
Mm-hmm.
So Wendelin is right next to him.
They are in conversation along with a few other people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just sort of listen in. I want to wait till Wendelin basically leaves.
Okay. Listening in, you hear them converse. "Look, there's not much that I can do at this time. Enjoy yourself. Have a few drinks on me. God knows, Saloon knows that you need it." Wendelin sort of responds, Well, I suppose it's not the best of times, but it's good to see you, old friend. Send my love to the wife, of course, and do let me know if you know anything. And Wendolyn turns and exits from the conversation.
And okay, as soon as his exit, I'm listening out for servers coming out, going towards Balthazar. So people with drinks, serving drinks.
An opportunity arises where you hear the clink of a platter of food or drinks wafting scents towards you.
I want to, specifically a drink that's being served to Balthazar. I'm sort of trying to gauge situation. Is he getting specific drinks brought to him? Over the
interesting. Yeah. So make me another perception check.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, natural 20.
Natural 20.
Oh,
He is indeed being given drinks into a large goblet.
They're pouring it to him.
They are pouring it to him. He doesn't seem to be too careful. It's his home. He obviously feels safe here with the people that are employed.
Perfect.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I have to think of something.
I was going to say, if you're going to slip in the potion, you'd have to be the next person he sees.
Well, I know I'm going to slip him the note. That's the thing. I can't slip him the potion yet.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to slip it in his pocket or something.
Okay.
I don't know or I could spill his drink, and when he's refilled, then I put the note under. Don't know the best way to do this.
I like the pocket idea.
Like, just meta-wise, what do you reckon I should do?
I like the pocket idea. I think he might be a bit too drunk to notice a lady slip something in, a sleight of hand thing.
So if I could put, if some food is being delivered to him, I could then. So I could wait for the next platter going over, and obviously it says his name on the note, so I can just. Maybe I'll try that. I'll wait for some food to be brought over, and I'll try to slide it underneath, just slide it onto the, just before it reaches there. I'll just deftly slide it onto the tray, and hope that they don't notice it.
So you're trying to slip the parchment onto the tray that's being delivered to him?
Yes.
Okay, so he has his own goblet.
Yeah.
That he's drinking out of.
So a tray of canapes or something.
Yeah,
right.
A tray of food would work. Okay, make me a sleight of hand check. And this is going to be a relatively difficult DC, as it's right under people's noses.
Well, let me check something.
This is a very clutch moment.
Yep. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, a 26.
A 26.
15.
And you wanted to place it onto the tray as just before they're about to get to.
Yeah, so imagine like they're like, yeah, exactly. Imagine they're serving it around, and then
they're like,
so,
here you go, and there's a note.
I know it sounds crazy, but like you sort of get the idea.
You guys are high level. This is the kind of shit that you can manage to do. Pulling it out from your pocket, and as the server turns, you slide it under one of the little canapes. You hear the server. My lord. And Balthazar takes one of. What's this? He pops the canapé into his mouth and opens the crisp piece of paper. The server says, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know how that got there." Never you mind. And he sort of looks around and begins to read. What does it say?
Balthazar, our utmost well wishings on this dear day of your birthday. A little gift awaits you in your what's the room called where the ships are?
The ship chamber.
The ship chamber awaits you for being one of our most dear and loyal customers. Signed, then just the
Crimson Courtier.
Yeah, the Crimson Courtier.
Wasn't it? But
it is now.
Yeah, it is
now.
In terms.
It is now. That's how D&D works. You hear and sense the expression on his face. I'm just going to roll. Oh yeah, hang on. Let me get his stats quick.
Do a perception check on his bulge.
Oh, can I insight check him when he's doing this?
I will say you can. Yes, roll me an insight check.
Can I, because I can hear his voice, can I also peek out and
18.
try and just have a look, just literally nip up, have a look at him whilst we're close to see if there's anything on his person, keys hidden under the jacket, anything
Sure,
like that.
But maybe
You sure that's a good idea?
Whilst he's looking at the letter.
I would say you will be unaware.
I don't know
when
I
there
don't
would
know.
be a good opportunity.
You could do it based on hearing, though, couldn't you? Like,
Just like,
I mean, obviously it's a harder roll.
This is
but...
interesting.
Fuck
it, I'll do it.
Okay, make me a stealth check and then make me a perception check.
Stealth is a 4.
Oh, Rupert, why?
Perception is a 13. Sorry, not a 13. An 18.
An 18.
Perception is an 18.
I got an 18 as well on the inside.
The insight, he seems intrigued and pleased. You poke out for a sec, and you are close. You are very close to him. You're not. He's not directly looking right at you. He seems to be looking. He's crumpling away this piece of paper. You can see he's wearing sort of these long purple fineries. He's wearing sort of an under doublet under the coat. His hair is sort of pulled back, that he has, and his beard is very well sort of kept and trimmed. You can see, indeed, with that roll, there is a necklace about his neck. You can't see it, but you can see it poking beneath the fabric. It's quite prominent. It's spiking out. You can almost see it's got like little prongs to it that poke on the inside of his shirt. There's definitely something under there in terms of a necklace. He has a variety of rings and jewelry, all looking very expensive as well. As he kind of pockets it away, his eyes just catch yours for a second. And his expression immediately, as you kind of just disappear, just gonna. Oh, I rolled a natural 1. He goes. Ugh. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
Oh,
He sees a gerbil for a
You're
split
so
second.
lucky.
He passes it on.
I rolled essentially like an intelligence.
I'm sorry,
check
that was
to
an
kind of-
unnecessary risk.
to understand what was going on.
I mean, we all need to take them every so often just for fun, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
you
just
know,
kind
you see a
of shakes
flying
his
gerbil,
head.
How often does that happen?
You see him
Phantom
kind of.
gerbil.
He does this through the air. No.
At this point, I'm starting booking it back to the ship room.
Okay, you book it out in front of him as he begins to walk. You see from the other side he meets his Goliath, and they both begin to head up.
Oh, you bugger.
You stealth your way back, and you reach. Where are you headed to?
I'm headed to the ship room, and I'm going to deliver. That's where I'm going to leave Richter and Zook. They know what the plan is from there.
Okay. You reach the ship room, and there are people in the ship room. There is a couple in the ship room currently.
Is there a area where they can enter into the ship room, like sort of, you know, in there,
as in somewhere where they could.
Yeah, they could then enter the ship room as Balthazar comes up, because I presume he'll wave.
So there's a chamber directly to the left. Would be directly underneath the gallery chamber that would be above you, same size.
Okay, I will. Yeah, I'll deliver. That's where I'll deliver. Zook.
Okay.
And...
You take them both out, pop them down. Richter, Zook. You put them down.
Okay, I'm going to. Are we out of sight?
Yeah. There's no one in this chamber. The door's open.
Cool.
But there's no one in.
Right. So I will. I will turn Richter back into himself.
Richter immediately throws his hand over himself, and he turns into this very, very attractive younger woman. Dutch isn't there, but Dutch would recognise, and Richter knows it's the girl from the Crimson Courtiers that they met.
I'm going to stay as a gerbil for the time being until it's time for me to go into the room.
Okay.
I'm going to head back to his quarters.
Okay.
And I'm going to go and have another quick look to remind myself what the guard looks like. And I'm going to turn myself into that guard, and I'm going to stand outside.
Okay,
Right.
as you get there, you can see there is a guard there already. They're standing at the door, but they're kind of looking around confused.
Okay, I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to go... Okay, I'm going to duck behind the corner where I know there's no one looking. I'm going to turn myself into that guard and then go around and be like, "Oh, mate, sorry, I needed to piss so badly."
Roll me a deception check.
Okay. A 17.
A 17? No way.
Oh,
Yeah, 16, sorry.
A 16.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Taking a piss.
Yeah, I was desperate. Oh,
You don't seem yourself. What's wrong with your voice?
I don't know. It's been bothering me all evening. I feel like I'm coming down with something.
Well, whatever. Look, I've got the shift. You go off. Just don't happen again.
Okay, all right. And then I'll leave and then find somewhere to hide.
Is
there anywhere?
You could You could head into the long gallery, but there's probably lots of people there.
Okay.
No, the best place to hide would be that little room, but he's got eyes on the door to get in to where the dead body room is.
Okay. I'm just gonna use my last invisibility. I've got to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Casting invisibility on yourself once more. You're just whereabouts are you going to hide? Just sort of pressed up against the wall.
I'm gonna go back down to the ship room, and I'm going to just watch what unfolds. I've got the potion with me on me as well, so
Okay.
if I can get that opportunity to do that.
Okay.
Oh, actually, instead of using invisibility, could I have gotten the server, one of the servers downstairs? Could I sort of have a vague idea what they look like?
Not without Ook.
Not without Ook. Just like based on the sort of sound reflections. It doesn't have to be like exact, because I imagine Lord Balthazar's got like loads of servants, so it doesn't have to be.
You could probably be a servant, but you're not unsure whether it's exact to that person because you didn't come in really close contact with them.
Yeah, sure.
Because you came in close contact with that guard, you sort of understood his features.
Absolutely. Yeah. I will. Yeah, okay, I'll just become a servant, but I'm not gonna. I'll be sort of like hiding the best I can. I'll if I'm like in plain view of like normal guests, that's fine. And then I can sort of like duck and weave between, and I'll just use another disguise self.
Okay.
Sort of wear the livery that I've seen them wearing.
Okay. Yeah. Zook and Richter, you hear a from the chamber next door as are you who I'm looking for? You hear from the next door. Oh, Lord Balthazar, we were just admiring your collection of ships. It is quite magnificent. If you aren't the people I'm looking for, then you should leave. Oh, quite right. You hear some movement.
Okay, as soon as I hear them leave, I'm going to wild shape again into a majestic, large lynx.
Okay.
With like wisping golden kind of mane and a kind of very sort of undulating striped back and a tail that flicks into a bushy white tip. But underneath, my teeth are gritted.
Okay. Richter steps forth with you around the corner, clad in not a lot, although with a bag. There is a kind of purse disguised as the bag of withholding, in which I imagine he's put his weaponry, so that it's not sticking out of his illusion. My lord, it is I. As he steps around the corner, Balthazar turns with his large Goliath. Ah, I remember you. Oh, what is this? As you pad into the room. It has no collar or leash. And Richter turns. It is under my influence. Do not worry. I've been sent here as a special birthday present for you, my lord. I'm going to roll a deception. Actually, you guys roll him a deception check. I have his character sheet here. It is a plus...
I've been rolling like shit.
He wants to go for it.
It is a plus
I've been
9.
rolling
It's a plus
wank.
9 to the roll.
Does he have his emissary thing as well?
It's not for deception.
Okay.
He can add plus 5 to his persuasion. Yeah, but...
Right. Shall I roll?
Who's
No,
rolling?
let Theo roll the blue dice.
No, it's not. It's swinging. Someone else do it.
Josh, you roll.
Go on, Josh.
What am I doing?
Roll the
Rolling
persuasion check
deception.
for Richter.
Roll a d20.
Is it with advantage?
It's not. It's just +9.
That's a 9. Plus 9.
So
18.
18. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Very well. We did have fun last time, didn't we, my love? Have you healed? Richter, he doesn't waver. Do not worry about me. Can we retire to somewhere more comfortable? Oh, yes, of course. Let us head upstairs. Follow me and bring your pet with you. He strokes his gross moustache like I have. You head upstairs, padding behind. The Goliath is sort of watching you this whole while. And eventually you get just upstairs to his bedchamber entrance. He waves the guard aside. You are not needed. Find another spot and come back here in 2 hours. I should be done by then. And you wait outside the room, he says to the Goliath. The Goliath doesn't bat an eyelid, just turns. Just watches.
Tashi.
Yes.
Because I would have made my way back to the ship room as the servant, and then I would I would follow them as far as I can go without. I think I'll use. What will I do here? Oh, blimey. Yeah, I'll cast invisibility and follow.
Okay. From his robed pocket, he pulls out a silver key, placing it into the lock, clicking it to the side. You can hear a small sort of whirring click and a sort of fizzle of magical energy as he pulls open the door. After you. Richter walks on through, as well as you, Zook, I assume.
Yeah.
Draug, are you trying to nip in during this
If
time?
I can.
Make me a stealth check.
Okay.
In fact, actually, make me a quick acrobatics check.
Acrobatics, okay. Ooh, nat 20.
Okay. Easily enough done. You slip in with Zook, sort of using the large form to kind of get into the room. And he closes the door behind you with you all inside. Ruthus and Dutch and Fandel, you hiding under the bed, hear the others enter.
We have done anything, in the meantime.
Yeah, sure. You know what? Let's reverse. What have you guys been doing while you were in the room as cats?
Is there anything with tassels in it?
Yeah, the 4-poster bed has lots of tassels.
Yeah, I'm fucking going to town on that bitch.
Okay.
Okay, while Dutch is
Use it like a
preoccupying
speed
himself, Rufus would have sauntered up to Fandel and used the Warlock invocation beast speak, so I can talk to animals at will, so we can talk while we're cats.
Interesting.
Is that possible?
Let me
Yeah.
look it up.
Oh, I like it. Can you cast?
It's great.
Good point.
Is this like?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, you gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I should be on screen for 5 seconds, and this is what the fucking episode becomes.
so Rufus walks up to the other two and starts conversing with them, and says to them, "Friends, we can speak like this. Dutch, Fender, you cannot talk to each other, but you can talk to me, and I can relay messages if need be. So, let's look around this room, shall we, while the others are away?" Rufus is going to jump up onto the bookshelf and pull back the book.
Okay, leaping up onto the bookshelf, you claw the book back as it clicks. You hear this tuk, 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 noise.
And then I gesture with a paw to, as it opens, as the bookshelf slides away, Rufus gestures with a paw towards the opening.
Fandel does this at his sort of whiskers and says, my, in his sort of cat language. Hidden behind a bookshelf, how mysterious.
Fandel, this is where your expertise comes to its fruition. This is the door, the vault, if you will. We suspect it's magically sealed, perhaps with a key that only Balthazar wears and holds. But we could use your advice.
You can see into the chamber beyond, and as the bookshelf slides open to the side, magical lights turn on within the room. And you see within, lit up, is a smaller chamber off to the side. That inside you can see. Let me just get my notes up on this. Oops. You see a small chamber comprising of a desk, a plush sort of velvet chair, a fireplace with no chimney that is currently now lit with a sort of smouldering blue flame. You see a table in the middle. Placed upon it a lantern. It's a strange-looking lantern made out of dark, sort of a dark, steely, metallic metal of some kind. There's no wax or candle within it, but there is that kind of clasp at the top. The clasp itself looks like a hand that's sort of taking yours, and you would place your hand into it to hold it above. There is also what looks to be a box placed on the desk, like a sort of thin, rectangular, ornate-looking box.
Right, okay. Before we go into the room, Rufus will ask Fandel if he can tell if there's any sort of is there any sort of magical alarm that will go off? Does he think?
Meow.
If we were to go into the room.
I cannot cast magic while in this form. We cannot talk in our normal way, therefore cannot cast spells that require somatic components or verbal components.
I see. Does anything in
magic though?
He can't. You can't understand each other. You can only understand Josh, Rufus.
What did you say?
He said his hands are magical.
Yes. I'm sure those will come in handy sooner or later, Dutch. Just you wait. Fandel, is there anything in this room that looks familiar? The cubic gate is not that box on the table, is it? No?
Ooh, I don't believe so. I assume it's probably quite a lot bigger than that. And a cube, not a rectangle.
Oh, yes, right. What about that lantern there? It's kind of...
From the floor, it's hard to make it out. Looks strange to me. Not when I'm not in my normal form, though. It is quite difficult. I cannot cast any sort of detection spells. I only have my knowledge.
How do we stop him from being a cat?
We can't. Only Zook can.
Now,
Well, it's a spell, is it not? Could I be broken out of this form through damage? Potentially.
literally what I just said. Let's knock him out.
Go for it. I
fight.
like the sound of that. Yeah, Dutch, you
Yeah.
gonna
Actually-
are you gonna like with your tonked out form punch Fandel?
Yeah.
Little cat.
Okay, make an attack as a cat.
Can I move someone flanking it with Rufus, please? And then Theo, do you want to make 4 attacks with advantage?
No,
Haymakers.
you're a cat. You're a cat. You don't have your abilities.
Hang on, let me get the.
Fine, I slap the fuck out of him as a cat. Roll 18 d20s.
Okay.
lethal?
You don't retain your physical sort of things as a cat.
Hey, we already
Right,
know
Literally, it's a normal Tonka cat.
Dutch, get ready to be blown away. You have 1 attack. It's a +0 to hit, and it does 1 slashing damage.
Okay, are you ready?
What is the
Cats
HP of a cat?
2 health.
It's a natural 20!
It's a natural 20!
Oh,
Which means it
double
does
that
enough.
one.
Which is doubles.
You just slice the throat of Fandel as he, and then immediately, poof, like becomes himself again. He sort of listens. Do you hear that? Fandel's passive perception is much better than both of yours. There's someone outside.
This means that I can't talk to him anymore.
Yeah.
We must be very quiet. Rufus. Oh shit.
He just looks up and goes,
Still
"Meow."
understand.
I'm gonna.
He looks at both. I imagine Dutch is just there, like doing this as a cat. Right. Give me 1 second, and he begins casting. He closes his eyes and steps into the room. Points at the lantern. This is magical. So is the lights. So is that box, or something that's within it. Actually, the box is too. Let's see. As he begins to kind of search around. Those are the magical things within this room. Should I inspect some of them?
Rufus turns to Dutch, both in cat form. We can still talk to each other, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should leave him unsupervised like this.
No. Theo, roll a d20.
Rufus raises a paw at the same time, so we can
Shabash!
smack each other.
I'll say without rolling, it's easy done. You crash into each other twice and both poof back and are
It's
yourselves.
like gnawing at
once
each
more.
other's throats.
Yeah,
Whoever
you do that
turns
thing
back
where
into
cats like
themselves
go.
first, picks up the cat and just shakes them.
You know when
Shakes them
cats
dead.
fight when they just jump at each other and go.
One of them flips underneath.
They
Yeah.
do that thing where they go really still and they go,
You both become yourselves, but yeah, you do hear footsteps outside of the door into the chamber.
You should probably do something about the bookcase that's open.
wait, we hear them approaching.
You just hear a single set of footsteps outside of the chamber door.
Oh, let's shut the fucking thing then. Beep boop. I shut it.
Yeah.
You're unsure how from the outside.
I move it.
Sorry, from the inside.
Is there a sconce or something near me? Beep boop beep boop.
Roll me an investigation check, quick, Dutch.
Theo,
A 3.
it's a 3.
You begin pulling the sconces and just grabbing around, and you do hear a click, and the door begins to shut. For indeed, the sconce to the right was it.
Nice.
I don't know why I got you to roll. And you hear a and it shuts.
Okay, nice. At least we're hidden in here now.
Yeah.
You still have a bit of time, I'll say, until the others are going to arrive. Not that you know. What would you like to do inside the room?
Open the magical box.
Well, yeah, we can certainly attempt to. I'll inspect it then. I assume.
Guidance.
Yeah.
You place a hand. Ooh, my! I did not know you had divine capabilities.
Well, what can you say? I'm blessed.
Let's see here. He gently touches it and begins looking around. It is locked magically. Some kind of arcane trap is placed upon this. I don't have the capabilities of dispelling it, but I could.
What would you need to open it?
Well, I can cast knock upon it, which could do the trick. Let me double check what knock does again.
It's reading from his spell book.
Contains mundane or magical means that prevent access. It will simply unlock it. But it will, at a cost, make a very loud knocking magical noise. Very loud.
Cube of silence. That's gone, isn't it?
It is gone, yeah.
Ah, damn. If you were the owner of this box, Vandel, what would you need to open it?
I guess I would need the skills to open it? I'm confused. You mean like a key?
Yes. Is it a magical key, or is it just on command?
Well, I'm not sure what kind of magical lock this is, but it seems to be trapped in some way. It may be that the person that can open it is a single person that has some kind of connection with this box. So therefore can
Very
open
well.
it.
There's nothing else in this room that is magically locked, is there? So this must be the item in question that Balthazar carries a key to.
I don't know.
What's the lamp do?
I don't know. I don't have. I feel a little bit silly that I didn't pre-plan a simple identify spell, but it's not not with me today.
What if I knocked you out again? Would you wake up with it?
No, it's not quite how it works. No, I can inspect it though. He picks it up and he's going to roll an Arcana check. Oh dear, I don't know. It's definitely magical, and it's producing necromancy magic, which often isn't good, I would say.
Oh, amazing.
Great bloke.
It would appear that it needs magical means to ignite it. But looking at the scorching within, it doesn't appear there is any. I'm not sure what kind of light would be emitted and how to turn it on.
I've got magical fire gloves.
I don't think that is what I know probably won't work. As we would see the marks of arcane charring on the inside, and there is none of that, nor is there wax.
Interesting. What else is in the room? Again, sorry. There's a fireplace without a chimney and a desk.
Yeah, there's a desk. There's this table in the middle with a lantern on it.
Can we go around to the desk and have a look? Is there anything on it? Any notes? Any drawers?
There are some drawers as well as some kind of papers on top of the desk.
Let's have a little rummage.
Roll me an investigation check.
Natural 20.
Oh. Oh.
Looking around, you kind of rifle through some of the papers, but they look to be various deeds to properties, as well as contracts with people over certain things. None of it is particularly useful information. You pull open the drawers, and they have sort of stationery and quill and ink and some other papers within them. But with a roll of a natural 20, you find a loose panel, perhaps? And as you kind of tease it away, it opens up a fourth drawer on the side. It just kind of cracks open a bit. Pulling it open, you can see a sort of leather case of some kind. A sort of small leather case with a handle sticking out.
Now, what is this? Trixie's nobles always have a secret hidey drawer for their mischievous items. I know them all too well. I'm going to have a little look at it.
You pull it out, pulling the sort of sheath off it, and find to be holding what appears to be a firearm of some kind. Metallic made, with a single chamber to it. You probably wouldn't have ever seen one before, but perhaps heard of one.
What is this? This weaponry?
In fact,
I'll hold it up towards the others.
didn't you guys find one ages ago in the Varamark?
Yeah, it's lost in the bag of holding.
Yeah, shit. Yeah. So yeah, you have seen one before.
My, this is quite the extraordinary piece of equipment. Look, Vandel, Dutch.
What?
Vandel, is this a magical weapon, or is it just merely a...
Oh yes. No, there is magic emanating from it even now, he says.
What is it?
It looks to be some kind
It's
of arcane firearm.
It's a magical pistol.
Well, let's have a go.
Ooh, I would probably suggest not doing that. They're often quite loud.
You don't have it.
Who's holding it?
I'll take it. Ooh, maybe you're leader. You should take it.
What? Rufus was the one that picked out the drawer, right?
Oh, right. I thought you passed it to Dutch and then to Vandel. Now it's back to you again.
Yeah.
Okay, well, either way, Rufus is going to spin it in his finger and stow it in his bag.
Okay.
Oh, amazing.
Let's save this for later. Let's not let this off now.
I will say at this point, you hear the door from outside behind the wall open, and you hear a voice say, now that we are alone, allow me to perhaps pour you a drink. And that is where we're going to end today's session.
Oh, it's upon us. It's upon us.
You are in the midst of it.
That's kind of relieving, because we'll at least get a week to think about how the fuck we do the next bit.
Yes, that's right. You do have a little
Extremely
bit of time.
violently. I say we just open the door and then you just execute him.
His guard is literally right outside, so I'm not sure.
It's fucking
Put a bolt in his neck.
And then when the guard comes in, I'll just put a knife through the fucking bottom of his
I'm pretty
face.
sure he's going to have maybe 200 hit points or something like that. The guard.
Who?
Oh man.
The guard.
Yeah, but a sword in the brain is still a fucking sword in the brain.
This is D&D, Mike. It's not real life.
If you want to play with the rule that if you sneak up on someone and you stab them or slit their throat, that's an insta kill. We can play with that, but that means it applies to you as well.
Same for you.
We should do that for the next campaign. We should play like hardcore rules.
I think
Realistic.
it could fuck the game up quite massively.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like a hero, right? You're supposed to be like a superhero.
And also, it's just not fun either way round. I think for either, like either you destroy one of my amazing villains in like one round through one thing, or
You'd have to
I end
it
up killing your
yeah.
character without you able to do anything, which is
Yeah.
also shit.
That's the thing.
The way I see it is fate allows for villains to, like, even if you do like 50 damage, you hit them in the neck, but it just kind of like bleeds out slowly. And like,
yeah, it's plot armor. It's plot armor.
Yeah.
plot armor, yeah.
Right, thanks for watching, everyone. Please join us next time as
I messed up the name.
as we are in the thick of it now. And
Aiden's gonna have to make fantasy love.
yeah, and actually, I'm glad that he didn't have to miss out too much.
Normally they get puked on. This time they get jizzed on.
Oh.
And with that,